So everyone. this thing on? Is this thing on? Hello, hello, hello? Welcome to the stream, guys. So, I was actually intending to stream yesterday, but I did not. So here I am. It is not on. Excuse me? What's not on? I don't know. Looks fine to me. Hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Well, considering last week we finally finished the Jeht Quest. Okay, like not finished it. Okay, I didn't finish the entire Jeht storyline, but I think we're at a decent spot in her story, which was the main story. Still find it a little odd. That we can continue Sumeru Quest, like the proper Sumeru Archon Quest that we were doing in the first place. Because as I mentioned, the entire reason I kind of put everything on hold to play the Jeht Quest was specifically, why do you ask, is it on? It was something silly. The main reason I play the Jeht Quest was because, as I mentioned like a bajillion times, this Sumeru Quest that we're playing feels like an ending. Like it feels like the ending to Sumeru. Maybe it's not, but it's kind of feeling like that, especially since we're getting closer and closer to endgame. And you know, there was a lot of plot threads of Sumeru that were kind of left unanswered, and I don't know if we're gonna answer them now, but that's definitely like the direction. The fact that they're bringing in like all of the characters that are even associated with Sumeru, including Jeht, who wasn't even in the actual proper like Archon Quest. There is definitely an air of finality. Of course, the last stream was the Archon Quest, and not a detour on playing the Jeht Quest. Yeah, sure. So, yeah, no, that's essentially, I mean, yeah, no, but I think, like, since I completed, like, the main part of the Jeht Quest, just since that's done, I think we're in a pretty decent spot to, like, get back into playing, like, the actual thing that we were doing. So, yeah, I kind of need to freshen up a little bit on what happened last time. I remember we talked to a Pep, she was able to secure Nahida for a little bit, and I think we're going to be using the same tech Deshret tried using to make the Golden Slumber, to fix the Ermine Soul. From what I could gather, that's what's going on. So, yeah, I don't really have too much to say, other than, my dum-dum self kind of sort of forgot to bring water this stream, and I probably should get water. So, if you guys could just bear with me, split second, I'll be back. Okay, I think we can get right back. Alright, so, let's, shut off the music for a little bit, get into the spooky, scary, infinite void. Let's start playing. Okay, so first I gotta deal with all these little things, so let's just go ahead and deal with that real quick. Okay. Okay, so nothing... That was more than a split second. Well, time is an illusion. What was in here? Sanctifying elixir. Oh, from this? Huh. Is that it? Was that all? I mean, Oh. Yeah, I never figured out how to do that part. Whoa, okay, just about to die. It's just about to... God, I hate when they do that. Why? Why is it like that? No. Can I climb? Thanks. Okay, okay. We just need to get the quest back. It was this one, right? Yep. Alright, let's continue playing. Because I seriously need to finish this quest. Because some crazy stuff is going on in the next patch.
Will eventually illuminate every hidden corner.
Some crazy stuff seems to be happening in the next patch. And I'm like, I need to finish this story. Oh my gosh. I forgot why we were going in the desert. Return to special story mode. Of course, of course. Oh, we were in the Temple of Silence. That's right. We were in the Temple of Silence. Hey guys, maybe you should put some railings here. It looks a bit dangerous. You know? Somebody might be too busy reading a scroll and they, whoop, fall off. They probably wouldn't die, but that'd definitely be a trip to the hospital. I have not seen anything from the special program. I am blinded for the next update. Unfortunately, I am not. Let's go on.
I thought we were going to speak alone. This is a lot more people than I was expecting.
Now I remember. I think this is when we're going to talk about Kale's backstory. You know, for those who didn't read the webcomic.
What's wrong with it? Even the doctors at Dar al-Shifa allow patients to be accompanied by family members.
And you know, in Sumeru, we're all a family.
Well, if Kale doesn't mind her secret being revealed,
well, Sino already knows it.
I have no problem with it.
Thanks for being so considerate, Mr.
And I'm
Cole.
pretty sure Tignari knows it too.
I don't know what secret you mean, but whatever it is, there's no need for me to hide it from my closest friends.
Closest friends? It's so nice to hear that.
We're here to support Kale through and through.
All right.
That's not how you said. That wasn't what we've written, but that's what I said.
Kale, are you aware that there are god remains inside your body?
And then everybody who hasn't read the manga goes, no, what? Huh? This came out of nowhere. And then crazy people like me is like, wow, it took you guys forever.
I am. When I was young, I got sick with Elazar. Nothing could cure it. The Fatui convinced my mom and dad that they could help, and I was sent to an unfamiliar place. There were a lot of other kids just like me there. This creepy guy injected us with some strange medicine, which I heard contained god remains. I can still remember the pain like it was yesterday. But thanks to the friends who've stuck by me all this time, I've gradually been able to overcome those memories. Anyway, so you're saying that what happened to me has something to do with the god remains they injected me with?
Yes. Those were the remains of Nabu Malikata.
Wait, for real? Okay, this is a... Okay, okay. This is it's not the most surprising thing in the world. Like, it's not the most surprising thing in the world, you know, Sumeru. It gotta be connected. I'm just thinking, like, my mind is thinking of, like, what it could mean. Like themes-wise, you know, like in the themes of the story. Not necessarily of the lore, more so, like... Go on.
What?
Wait, but that's that's not a god, though. That's not a god. Nabumalikata wasn't a... I mean, they call her the goddess of flowers. They call her the goddess of flowers. But that was more so just a title the people gave her, because I don't think the people of Sumeru knew she was an angel. Whatever. Wait, Lilupar does say what? That's great, actually. I love that.
Huh. Fascinating.
Same here, dude. Same here.
You don't seem surprised like the rest of us. Why?
Please, explain yourself.
The possibility crossed my mind when Kale recited the Goddess of Flowers song and calmed the Jinn.
Sure, dude, sure.
You made Paimon jump! What are you doing here, Lilupar?
I was merely passing through when I heard the name of the Goddess of Flowers. Be assured that I share your surprise.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, Girly has the remains of my mother injected in her.
You, with the hat. Are you certain? I sense no trace of the Lord of Flowers within her.
Well,
I love that
it
Lilupar's
is
voice.
a very small fragment. Unless special methods are used to manifest its power,
Poems and prayers.
even her closest acquaintances would find it near impossible to detect.
And that was because Sino sealed it. You know, for those people who read the webcomic, like I did. It's cause Sino, if y'all didn't know, Kale kind of ended up in Mondstadt. She may have probably killed 2 people. Maybe. And when she eventually encountered like Amber and Jean and Lisa, they kind of realized like what was up with her. And because Lisa, you know, was studied at the academia and because she's close acquaintances with Sino, she sent a message to him to be like, hey, there's this girl, there's some like crazy stuff going on, can you help? Sino comes over, and yeah, basically tells her like, okay, so I'm going to perform this thing, which is going to seal your power completely. However, it does come with a danger that if it's like released again, it would kill you, if I remember correctly. And of course, Kale is so desperate to like not have it, she obviously chooses to have it sealed. And they do have it sealed. And at the end, Kale decides to follow Sino back to Sumeru. And this isn't in the webcomic, but Sino eventually kind of sort of dumps her on Tignari. But you know, they're like a little family, so he's still around. Yeah.
After the goddess passed away, her remains were scattered across the desert.
Yeah, sounds about right.
King Deshret gathered all the pieces he could find and buried them in the Eternal Oasis.
Oh.
But some fragments remained unaccounted for.
So there are pieces of her still there. Okay. But yeah, like I said, it's... I mentioned this in the previous streams of this quest. Like, on one hand, it's really cool that Genshin is finally, like, acknowledging stuff from the webcomic / manga / whatever you want to call it. But there's also this hint of frustration, because it's like, this feels like something that should have been said years ago. Like, a long time ago, you know what I mean? Because the webcomic is great, but it shouldn't be necessary material. I mean, they're explaining it here, but... at the same time, this entire Luna cycle is the devs' way of being like, yeah, so, we didn't really make the lore good for casual players, so here we are, we're going to, like, re-explain everything, but in a way that actually, in a way that the casual player can interact with, which is obviously what they're doing here. But it's a double-edged sword. It's like, I totally understand why they're doing this, but at the same time, I'm like, y'all low-key shot yourselves in the foot, which, I mean, they were aware of. It's the reason why this scene even exists. It's just funky, is all. You're probably going to be hearing me complain a lot in this quest. It's not that I'm not liking it, it's just that, like, the closer we approach endgame, the more Genshin's writing flaws do kind of start to pop up here and there. Wait, now that you played that part, now I know that those purple flowers were her fragments. That might be! That might be! Okay, we can carry on.
Eventually, the Fatui must have found a way to track some of them down.
As they always do.
Presumably for use in some experiment. It's not an uncommon occurrence.
Cora says hello! Hi, welcome to the stream.
You're more shaken than I thought. In one sense, you've been extraordinarily lucky. So many people who yearn for this kind of power never attain it, yet you have coexisted with her all this time without even realizing it.
I mean, to be fair, it wasn't like a good thing.
I don't know what to say. I'm glad that I could help everyone with this power, really. But knowing that a fragment of the Goddess of Flowers is inside my body is... It's a strange feeling.
That is strange. That is whack.
Well, people value their autonomy very highly. Even a well-intentioned intruder can shake one's sense of self.
What does Sino have to say about all this? Because I don't know how far the game took it intentionally, but, like, it's like a little headcanon that I have, and I feel like other fans have it too, because I've seen, like, fan art of it. But Sino is also, not the same situation, but he's also in a similar situation where he has the spirit of Herbanubis, like, residing inside of him. And not to say he was experimented on in the Temple of Silence per se, but there was this, there was this sense of experimentation on him. Actually, I think it just straight up was. Maybe I'm just not remembering it super well. Until Cyrus, who's his adopted dad, took him to the academia to raise him. And, like, it's always been, like, a headcanon of mine, like a little baby headcanon of mine, that one of the reasons why Sino, like, took her in after sealing her power was because he related to her in a way. You know, like, I too know how it feels to have... I don't know if Hermanubis was a god, but I too know how it feels to have a divine entity, inhabit your body, and it causing you to... And it, like, preventing you to not live a normal life for a really long time. I don't know if the game will ever really acknowledge that parallel, but it's a headcanon that I know some people have, and it's, like, in my mind.
I understand how you feel, Kale.
Is that all you're gonna say?
But once you get used to it, you'll find it's nothing to be concerned about.
Dang, that might be it. That might be all we're gonna get. It's like right when I'm like, I don't know if the game will talk about it. Here it is. I betcha this is all we're getting. This is all we're getting on that.
Huh. I guess you, of all people, have a good reason to speak on this.
2 good reasons, in fact. Incidentally, 3 is the maximum number of Hermanubis' Ba fragments that I could bear.
Oh, let me read the little... I mean, I already know about it, but I like to reread. Herbanubis, one of the sage's 7 pillars, one of King Deshret's 7 pillars, Saint Herbanubis, the greatest of the sages, the only one among the 7 pillars to ascend from humanity to the rank of a god's familiar. Oh, thank you for the clarification of what he is. Born among the Tynar people, he was a sage and warrior known far and wide, sincere, steadfast, kind and steady. He earned widespread respect. He was the guide of all priests, and within the academic world, he is honored as a foundational figure of the desert civilization. I love that they're not going to give it a proper name. Following the passing of King Deshret, Herbanubis led his people into the city of Tulatila, where he founded the Temple of Silence to preserve and steward all manner of knowledge. To safeguard this lofty and hidden order, he scattered himself so that his power might be inherited by those who came after. To this day, the members of the Temple of Silence raise their voices in praise of Herbanubis. May his name endure through the ages and his valor remain immortal across all time. As for his peers among the 7 pillars, whether they admit it or not, all held a deep-seated respect for Herbanubis. Even now, a millennium later, the mention of his name stirs memories of the days where they once gathered together in fellowship. So Tignari is just his name species. Yes, actually, yeah, no, like in his second story quest, they make a comment where Tignari's like, yeah, I think I remember my dad telling me that like, I was named after our group of people. Hey, before y'all say anything, I have met people who are literally named after countries. Countries. So this is not the strangest thing ever.
Let me guess. Because 2's company, but 3's a crowd?
Boo!
Thanks for helping to explain the joke, Tainari.
Not my intention.
Goddess preserve me. I should take my leave. This boy in his wolf's head hat speaks much too differently from the Hermanubis I remember.
Well, I'm not Hermanubis. I'm just he's just in my soul.
Kale, all I'm trying to say is, no matter how many Hermanubis fragments there are within me, you wouldn't think of me as Hermanubis. In the same way, you are simply you.
I know people named after one continent. Not exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So about that dream I had, was it a warning from the goddess of flowers?
Some people just name their kids anything. Literally. Look, I'm one of those people that I'm like, yeah, technically anything could be a name. But maybe there are some things that shouldn't.
Yes, just like me, she was an angel created by the primordial humans.
Wait.
Born with the instinct to guide living beings.
Hold on, wait a second. She was an angel created by the primordial humans. So the heavenly principles didn't create you guys? I might be reading too much into it. I'll keep playing.
Though her body and soul have perished, her essence retains its natural instincts. Even her smallest remaining fragments would do their utmost to send you that warning. The Mother of Dreams? Lord of Flowers and Oases? She must have had a premonition. That is why she gave that dream to you.
We won't let our efforts go to waste. But I still don't understand. Why me?
Yes. Why indeed? You weren't the only one injected with god remains, but only in you have her fragments persisted.
I mean, okay, I know that they're going to give like a semi-complex reason, but genuinely, like the only thing that's like, to me, the explanation is like rather simple. Because you were basically raised by the General Mahamatra, and you're basically family with the retired acting grand sage, like Kale's family, right? This little group, Tignari, Sino, Alhaitham, Kaveh, like her little family is basically friends with the Dendro Archon, you know what I mean? Like, Sino basically directly works under Nahida, essentially, and Alhaitham, for a short period of time, also worked directly under Nahida. And not Sino. And Kaveh is like a like a Sumeru renowned architect. Tignari is the only semi-normal one, but because he was basically the valedictorian of his class, he's really close with the sages, including the Grand Sage. Essentially what I'm saying is that it's pretty obvious. Nepotism. Like, Kale just so happened to be essentially raised by some of the biggest names in all of Sumeru. Nepotism, yeah. She just so happens to be basically raised by the most powerful people in all of Sumeru, or people with connections to the most powerful people. If there is anybody that you would send a warning to who has your remains, it would be her.
I suspect it may be because of the firm will you showed in the face of
Nah, bull.
She was likely assimilated by that will.
Nah, it was nepotism. That's cap. Because of the firm will you showed in the face of nah. It's her connections.
Of course, this doesn't mean you have to shoulder any extra
it's
responsibility.
Her dad's.
As this young man said, you are who you are, and that will not change. All right. Any further questions from the family members
Exactly,
of the
they're
patient?
family.
If not, we should head to the mausoleum of King Deshret.
Let's move out. Time to put our plan into action.
We all hope it'll work. But will we really be able to open Aru? And even if all 7 pillars of King Deshret agree to let us proceed, the scale of the work to follow is daunting, to say the least.
So that is what we're trying to do.
Haven't you handled other big projects before?
Yes, Tiggy. Building projects, you know, math, geometry, materials, not this type stuff.
I mean, the biggest project I've worked on to date is probably the Palace of Alcazarzaray, I guess? But this is orders of magnitude beyond that. It's a total nightmare.
Look on the bright side. At least this time you're actually here when Sumeru needs you most.
Bruh.
You won't have to come asking me for details after the fact.
Mock me all you want. But now that I'm here, things will be resolved far more quickly and smoothly than last time.
Kave's self-doubt disappeared in an instant. Like magic.
Yep, those are them too.
Well, this confidence is most gladdening. Now, go and pack your things. We'll head to the mausoleum as soon as you're ready.
I love that they're like, oh man, like they picked, like Nabu Malikata picked Kale because of her like strong will against the face of danger. Nah, I don't believe that. Nah, it's solely because she just so happens to be friends with the most powerful people in all of Sumeru. Like, that's not a coincidence. Like, come on. Trying to be all cute and meritocracy-ish. Like, phrasing is all off.
Miss Nicole, I heard you're a very talented sculptor. Is that true?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't want to blow my own trumpet.
Honestly, even though Kasharawar is best known for its focus on mechanics, plenty of Kasharawar scholars are quite serious about sculpting as a hobby.
Picking anyone would mean, picking anyone else means certain doom. Nahida would not have gotten the message, lol. No, exactly! It's like the only reason, like, I think Kale could even, like, forget even talking to Nahida, but have this entire plan with, like, the sages and Irminsul and the Temple of Silence. Is just because she happens to know these people.
So if they rate your work, that's enough for us. We just have to take a look.
Who's we?
Myself and a few other scholars. Kashif, Daneshvar, come take a look.
Oh, well, if you insist, I suppose there's no harm in showing you.
Showing off. Can I see the statue? Awesome. 10 out of 10.
Whoa.
Best statue I've ever
Where
seen
did
in my
that
life.
come from?
Look at the level of detail.
It's so lifelike.
The squirrel descends from the heavens like a champion, and the earth trembles beneath its feet. What do you think? Striking, isn't it?
Kave? Kave, come here for a sec.
I'm not here.
Madame Faruzan, didn't you used to study in our darshan? Come take a look.
All right, but hang on a moment. I have to finish reviewing this proposal first.
You called? What is it, youngster?
This squirrel statue. Isn't it cute?
Please, I need these guys to, like, talk about it as if it was, like, modern art in, like, a museum, you know, where someone just makes, like a black cube made of grass and people start saying that it talks about, like, the void and the meaning of life and stuff.
Oh, a squirrel. I wouldn't say cute per se. The realism is what stands out to me. Were you trying to carve a statue of a hero, young lady?
Oh, a hero? I suppose so. Actually, I didn't really have a specific theme in mind. I just started working on it, and this is how it turned out.
I see. Well, do you tend to read novels about heroes in your spare time?
As a matter of fact, I do quite enjoy those. Everyone loves a good tale of daring do, right?
Then perhaps this statue represents the heroic tale you long to see deep down inside.
Sure.
Also on the subject of heroism, I feel that if the subject posed with a finger raised towards the heavens, it would lend a greater gravitas to the overall image.
Sure.
I'm sure some would call it cliché or old-fashioned, but not me. I think it would be a perfect fit. It has a certain classical beauty about it. Kave!
Sorry, Madame Faruzan, I'm a little busy right now. Don't wait up for me.
What a pity. That young man has excellent aesthetic tastes. I was hoping to ask him for his opinion.
What a genius idea! Why didn't I think of that? Classical beauty is a great direction to explore. That's it. Once I get back, I'm going to sculpt a heroic squirrel pointing its finger towards the sky.
Can't wait to see it.
Precisely. A declaration of victory. You understand my vision. Then place the two statues face to face.
Yes! That's exactly what I was thinking.
It'll be a masterpiece. Miss... I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name.
Just call me Nicole. Madam Faruzan? Was it?
What? Oh, no. That wouldn't be right.
Why ever not? Madam is a state of mind cultivated from within. Anyone may call me Madam if they so desire. My dear Miss Nicole, once we make it through these trying times, should we have the pleasure of meeting again, I shall look forward to seeing your new work. In this day of age, it's rare to find people with an appreciation for classical aesthetics. Meeting you was truly a pleasant surprise.
Honestly, I feel the same way. It's been a long time since I met anyone interested in this style of statue.
It's a squirrel.
Clearly, they don't call you Madam for nothing.
It's a squirrel, guys.
Also, I have to say, you're a very good judge of character. Because when I think about it, I really am someone who likes stories about heroes. That must be why I've quietly kept watch over generation after generation of them.
Sorry, keeping watch over heroes? What exactly do you do for a living?
I write books.
Oh, never mind that.
Let's not tell Madame Faruzan about Miss Nicole's true identity for now.
Okay. So they do know.
Good idea. Let's limit the conversation to aesthetics.
I certainly didn't expect them to bond over a squirrel statue. A squirrel. It's a squirrel. I don't know if I'd call this, a classical sculpture in the same vein as something like that. But okay, whatever y'all want. Y'all got anything more to say? Or was that all? Okay, what about you guys?
Let's not tell Madame Faruzan about Miss Nicole's true identity.
Good idea.
Oh, what about you guys?
What's wrong? You look a little depressed.
Kale got a fragment of the Goddess of Flowers. And all I got was one of the 7 pillars who
Bruh.
served under King Deshret.
My guy.
I lost out, didn't I?
Dude, my guy, your parents literally sold you to put that fragment inside of your body. Come on.
That's what you're upset about?
Exactly.
You're such a child.
Bro, that fragment low-key ruined your life for a bit. Like... Oh, is that it? Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, these guys. Oh, okay. Nepherdea Jeht.
Good to finally meet you in the flesh. It's a little surreal seeing you here after exchanging letters for so long. In my head, the boss of the Curatorium of Secrets didn't look so young.
Sounds like you have some history then?
Any budding mercenary group needs a steady supply of intel. They, in turn, can prove an exceptional source of the same. The Curatorium of Secrets is happy to cooperate with friends from all over the world. If you're interested, you'd be very welcome to join our network too, Miss Dia.
Can't say no to a solid partnership, especially out here in the desert. Having intel can mean the difference between life and death. But cooperation's built on mutual trust, and there isn't much contact between the desert and Nodcry. So, I'm guessing you reached out to Jeht first, Miss Nefer? What's behind your interest in the desert? Nostalgia? Or is there someone you're looking to take care of? Let's put all our cards on the table first. Things will go more smoothly that way.
Okay.
I like your style, Flame Mane. Actually, I had this same discussion with Jeht before we started working together. To be clear, I have no intention of using you for any ulterior motives. And I have no enemies in the desert as things stand now. Were that to change, I wouldn't drag outsiders into a conflict that doesn't concern them. There's no point in doing certain things if you don't do them yourself. Wouldn't you agree?
Well said. Taking responsibility for one's own affairs is the way of the desert folk. Huh. It's like you're one of us.
You sure that's a compliment?
I thought that was a compliment.
Absolutely.
I'll take it. Perhaps we can discuss our cooperation in more detail now?
Sure. I love working with no-nonsense people. And you certainly fit that description. I look forward to a fruitful partnership.
As do I, my friends.
Pretty neat, pretty neat. Talking business. Sold as a child or experimented on by Dottore. Which one is better? I'd say sold as a child. I think Kale got it worse. I'm just saying being sold by your parents ain't exactly a good fate either. But one is definitely worse. Okay, go to the Great Hall of Truths. Hey, Jeht's coming with us. And Sethos. Heck yeah. So we're in here. I remember exploring this place. So this giant
I hope everyone's ready.
Oh.
We'll be arriving at our destination very shortly.
Hold on, let me look around. So this is where the Aru thing was built. Yeah, it checks out. That makes sense. Where the golden slumber is in. Oh yeah, we're back here. I remember this place. Investigate Aru's shut. I remember this place. No, this place was like, oh, come on. I thought this place was so cool. Like, I literally
I've
took,
not seen so many visitors ever, really.
Oh, it's not.
What is this place now, a tourist attraction?
Yeah, like when I first saw this place playing, like, one of the desert quests, I remember I was, like, so, like, jaw-dropped that I started, like, taking pictures of it. Because I'm like, this is beautiful. Oh my gosh. And it is.
Closer inspection reveals many familiar faces. To what do we dusty old fellows owe the honor? Surely you're not just here to chat.
Hey, Sino's dad is here.
You surmised correctly. We are here to carry out a rather enormous project.
Ho, enormous, you say? How large, then? Larger than the gaping void in our lives?
Bruh.
Why, you've even put a smile on Goatee and Crocco's faces. All this activity is making for quite the special day. I know that laugh. Lilipar? What on earth are you doing here?
I thought you died.
Oh, this is hilarious. Turns out good things really do come to those who wait. As long as you stay alive long enough. When did you three get locked up in here? And still you act all high and mighty, putting on a show for the younglings. Truly hysterical.
Why, you... Yes, I know. No need to shout. You're right, Lilipar. Goatee, Crocco, and I all have the same problem. But didn't King Deshret seal you away? How
Sealed
did you
all of
break
you guys
free,
away.
And how did you get in here?
Well, I mean, she's technically still sealed in a bottle, but like, he sealed every single one of y'all.
Who knows? Perhaps you can ask my master one day, should you ever get the chance. Behold, the executioners of old. Some have turned into fragments residing in human bodies, and others are imprisoned eternally, leaving not a single shard behind. It's almost tragic, watching lowly prisoners like you act all self-important. Curiosity gnaws at you, doesn't it? Your interest in the outside world threatens to burst you at the seams.
I'm starting to take a liking to this magic bottle lady.
You know you would.
Time is of the essence.
She hates the Sumeru people
Let's
as well.
get down to business. We come to you, O three ancient lords, to request your assistance on behalf of the Academia. If we can help you regain your freedom, then please consider lending us your aid.
So that's the plan, okay. Bit different than what I thought.
As for precisely what we need your help with, it's a long story. So, to demonstrate our sincerity, we are prepared to first resolve the problems that plague the three of you.
All right, stop arguing, Croco. And Goatee, don't you start. What's the harm in letting her speak? It's not worth getting so angry about. Forget about her. The 3 questions are the crucial thing here.
I betcha they're all like, hey, I remember her. Yeah, she sucks. She absolutely sucks. Everything that comes out of her non-existent mouth would get her banned off the internet.
But do you really have a way to answer them? You once answered the final question, Nefer, but the seal did not open. Unless, with the passage of time, you have found a new answer?
You could say so. When you first asked me what determines truth and falsehood, my answer was a liar's soul. Liars are the best at seeing through the falsehoods of the world. But if you want them to tell you the truth, you have to reach their soul.
I think that makes sense.
Good answer, good answer.
I found it quite compelling myself, and I told Nefer so. Unfortunately, it brought us no closer to liberation.
Well, that's simply because it was my answer. Not the one King Deshret was looking for.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Can you guess which answer Al-Ahmar wanted then?
Time.
Wait, is this proving my theory? Is this proving my theory? Oh my gosh, it's Peppermint. It's Pep like absolutely freaking out about nothing again. What determines truths and falsehood is time? Nothing like that makes sense, but like, is it gonna prove my theory?
And that's not only the answer to the final question. It's the answer to all 3 of them.
I'm gonna lift it up a little bit. Okay.
All things wax and wane with the passage of time. Love and hate eventually fade into nothing. Current affairs are always fraught with conflict and controversy. Only time can distinguish between right and wrong.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I figured what it meant is, like, how do you distinguish, like, right from wrong? Well, give it time, and, like, if it's wrong, it'll show that it's wrong. Yes, that is what you opened my mind when you mentioned it. Dude, my theory. Keep going, Genshin, keep going. You know, like, I don't know at what point am I just really good at guessing Genshin lore, and at what point I'm just insane. I'm just so deep. I'm just so far deep into this goddamn video game where, like, I'm starting to know it inside out without realizing it. Is that a good thing? Is that a concerning thing? I don't know. All I can tell you is that the game is getting to a point where where like half of my theories are becoming right. You know, maybe I should have been a Genshin channel. Maybe I should have been a Genshin channel this whole time making theory videos and stuff. I'm just too scared to, because this fandom terrifies me. But I have quite a bit of theories, like, cooking up inside my head that I occasionally talk about on these streams. Anyway, keep going.
You once described King Deshret as a proud man. I'd say that the prouder someone is, the more inclined they are to believe that only time is qualified to be their judge.
Fair enough.
Time. Well. Indeed. Perhaps in building Aru, our king was in fact attempting to reverse time.
Yeah.
To bring love and hate, right and wrong, the rise and fall of all things back to their point of origin.
No, that's true. That checks out. Because the reason he was obsessed with building the Golden Slumber was because he kind of hated how his life played out. And he just wanted to go back to, like, I mean, yeah, he wanted to go back to a time where, like, everything was good, everything was stable before, like, the Archon War and the Forbidden Knowledge and all that. Also, everything looks like an hourglass, too. Like, his pyramid is kind of hourglass shaped, the structure is kind of hourglass shaped. I already mentioned my theory. Hey, yo! Oh my god! Yo! Oh, that was cute. I like the goat one. Oh, it's been a long time. Are those animal heads natural? Is that how the animal humans in Genshin originally looked before they lost their features over time? I need these questions answered. They said Herb Anubis was a human. Are these humans? Is this the de-evolved version of the animal people?
This is the most eventful day I have experienced in a long, long time. You have my sincere gratitude.
Oh, I need to read his section. One of King Deshret's several pillars, the Scribe of Scribes, the Ibis Kings, once a moon envoy, apparently, he could have stood among the gods, only to be defeated by... only to be defeated by King Deshret and brought into his service. Among the 7 pillars, the Ibis King embodies the wisdom of King Deshret. He is exceedingly cunning, possessed a formidable intellect and prowess for offering counsel to King Deshret. Within Sumeru's academic circle, some scholars believe that many of the desert's upheavals can be traced to this clever king. Certain texts recorded him as a flatterer and a god of deceit. After being imprisoned in Aru by King Deshret, Thoth bestowed 3 gifts: the power of deceit upon the Tulatula noble, the power of being loved upon the royal heiress Makara, and the eyes of seeing through hearts upon a girl of Shimti, Nefer. The long ages of torment have softened Thoth considerably, and his constant stream of jokes and witticisms now make him seem notably more approachable. Okay, so he was a bit more, like, stoic in the past. Okay. A moon envoy. So what is he? Okay, because they mentioned Herb Anubis was a human. So what is Thoth? Because Thoth is clearly important, considering that, like, every Deshret structure ever has him plastered everywhere. So this guy is clearly important. Like I know it says he's a moon envoy, but, like, Zabai is also a moon envoy. And she's an angel. Like, that's what she, like, actually is. Moon envoy seems to be more like a title. So what is Thoth? Is he a god? It says he could have once stood among the gods. So is he or not?
Are those 3 of the 7 pillars?
Yes. Can the others talk? Please, please, please,
Turns
please.
out the statues were quite faithful to the source.
Literally.
You 3 seem to be in good spirits.
Prison can help a person grow and learn to cherish what they have. Nevertheless, after everything you've done for me, I sincerely hope you never have to experience it for yourself.
Fair enough.
Hello, Nefer.
This is so cool. I love their designs. They look awesome.
It's good to see you, Thoth, the Ibis King.
Nice. Definitely puts my mind at ease, seeing you 2 getting along so well.
Should we maybe introduce ourselves, or...
Sure. I'm Sethos, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. This is General Mahamatra Sino, and this is the former Spantamat sage, Cyrus. But I'm guessing none of that means a whole lot to you.
I was just about to say that. I was like, do they even know what the Mahamatra is, since they're from, like, way before that?
Everything is equally new to us, in
hey.
truth. We've been gone from this mortal world for longer than you can imagine.
Hey, look, they're making his mouth talk! I love this. This is amazing. Sobek. The captain of captains, Sobek the Crocodile King. He could have once stood among the gods as well, only to be defeated. Did they say the same thing about Herb Anubis? The only one among the humans to, among the 7 pillars. Okay, so Hermanubis is the only human. Okay, I see. Okay. He could have once stood among the gods, only to be defeated by King Deshret and brought into his service as well. Among the 7 pillars, the Crocodile King embodies the strength of King Deshret. While ruling over war with a hot-tempered and straightforward nature, he also blessed the land with abundance. His statues are commonly found in oasis and water temples. Legend tells that he was King Deshret's foremost general who campaigned across many lands. Awed by his raw strength, tenacity, and fury, some mercenaries secretly worship him as their god. Sobek was once competitive and bellicose, but after being imprisoned in Aru alongside Harashaft and Thoth, he had long passed the time with tabletop games and has since grown more easygoing. Kurako boy, he's very blue. He is very, very blue. I love that they animated his mouth, though.
Let's hold off on
And
the
him.
introductions for now. We can always ask Nefer about you later. It'll give me something to talk about with my chosen disciple.
You're like a helpless parrot. Gods and people of yore are not necessarily welcome in today's world. Self-awareness is one of my finest qualities. I thought I ought to share its fruits with you two.
Are you also voiced by J. Michael Tatum? I think he is. The NPC Adeptus walk so the trio gods could run on their design. The NPC... Yes, that's so true! Sorry, it took me a bit to understand. Yes, 100%, definitely. Dude, like, we're getting NPCs that, like, are starting to look more and more like playable characters, and I welcome it. Okay, let me read about this guy. Let me read about this dude. Where is he? Okay, Harashaft? Okay. One of the 7 blah blah blah. He also could have stood among the gods, only to be defeated by King Deshret and brought to his service. Among the 7 pillars, the Go King embodies the rulership of King Deshret. His manner is enigmatic, his thoughts meticulous, and he is the executor of King Deshret's authority, yet he prefers to remain neutral. Generally, unless a matter of great importance arises, Harashaft will offer no concrete opinion. Silence is his cunning, and observation is his wisdom. It is hard to say why he has come to be this way, yet such is the way he exists. After being confined within Aru, he seems, essentially, unchanged. I love this guy. Okay, so basically this guy found inner peace is what I'm seeing. He has to be voiced by J. Michael Tatum. Like, that voice is way too familiar.
Is that so? Well, I think we'll take it in stride, just as we did with the 3 questions. Let's not forget, it was my persistence that won you both your freedom.
Fair point. I have to applaud your persistence.
And I must praise you for your wisdom. Now, state your wishes, young ones.
But, like, what are they, though? Are they gods? Are they?
I'm sorry?
Why, your tremendous
of the
accomplishments
wording.
deserve a reward, do they not? You must let us do something for you in return.
General Mahamatra, what do you think?
Fix Ermin's soul.
I won't beat around the bush. Sumeru is facing a crisis the likes of which have never been seen before. And we need your help.
Every calamity throughout the ages has been connected to us in one way or another, whether we were its cause or consequence.
I don't know, man. That sounds like him. Why does the bird simultaneously not sound like a stereotype and sound like a stereotype? I don't know. Is the jokes that he's wise? I mean, this is the nation of wisdom, so, like, it makes sense.
Whatever is wrong with Ermin's soul, it severely affected the Dendro Archon. She fell into a coma, and is currently receiving treatment from the Dendro Dragon.
Damn, you guys were able to tame that thing? How'd that happen?
The Dendro Dragon?
Literally what I said.
I'm sorry. The Dendro Dragon is helping to heal the Dendro Archon?
Well, like, heal in quotation. Like, it's complicated. We managed to get her to listen for, like, a second.
Not a pep, surely. Not vicious, cruel, a pep who possesses no virtues aside from her basic instincts. Ah, good heavens.
I mean, you're not wrong on that. Like I said, she's not really helping, per se. We just managed to convince her this one time.
Oh, I shudder to think what could have caused Lesser Lord Kusanali to suffer such a plight. Still, why would the Dendro Dragon lend you her aid? She has always held nothing but contempt for the Archons. I suppose she and Kusanali must have some history.
You can help us make history, too.
No.
A smooth talker. Well said, lad.
Currently, no one can connect to Irminsul. We hope that by opening up Aru and making some modifications to it, we can use its technology to our advantage.
We are not cavemen, SpongeBob. We have technology.
Unfortunately, Aru is an imperfect creation.
Obviously.
King Deshret never managed to realize
he
his
never
full
finished
vision
it.
before his death. Much remains to be done if it is to be pitted against Irminsul itself.
Yeah.
Besides, I hear your reasons, but to give Aru up over such would be...
The archaeological records clearly indicate that although Aru's construction took a long time, it was not beyond human means to achieve. Modern technology should solve the efficiency issues. We have no choice but to go all in on this.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. I mean, first of all, Deshret never finished it. Second of all, Deshret was, like, out of his mind throughout, like, the majority of him building it. So it makes sense that it's not the most complex thing in the world.
This is by no means a threat. But the only reason we helped you escape from Aru was to gain the necessary leverage to negotiate with you.
Dang, he admitted it.
You asked us to state our wishes, and we have. Each one of us here needs your help, as do all the thousands of people living in Sumeru. They need you.
They need
and they
Aru.
need Aru.
What do we think, my fellow old fogies? Shall we lend our support or not?
Since you ask so nicely, naturally.
Naturally what? Are you for or against?
I simply mean we shall do what comes naturally.
Yeah, okay, like, we read the description. This guy doesn't voice opinions. Talk to the other guy.
You claim that you wish to open Aru. Know you then that the golden slumber created by King Deshret is preserved within?
Obsidian Aurora says, only thousands? Well, I mean, like, canonically, okay, maybe not canonically, but, like, it's pretty clear that nations is a bit, it's a bit of a fast and loose term. Like, all of the nations of Teyvat are more accurately city-states. And yeah, no, thousands fits for a city-state. You know then that the golden slumber created by King Deshret is preserved within. The early form of the ideal paradise. Okay, so, wait, hold on. No, wait. Oh, so they are different. Kind of, sort of. Okay, so the golden slumber is like the beta of Aru. Okay. Oh, look, let me reread this. Aru, an ideal realm fashioned in imitation of the heavenly principle's act of creation, using knowledge and technique from the goddess of flowers, obviously, obtained from Celestia. Through it, King Deshret sought to forge a golden slumber that would unite countless forms of wisdom and dream. Though this vision ultimately failed, many souls of the desert people are still wander within. Golden slumber, the early form of the ideal paradise envisioned by King Deshret, free from all limits and constraints. In essence, it is an illusionary realm formed from the convergence of countless souls and minds. So, okay, yeah, it's basically exactly what I thought. Right now, even then, Prussia was a city-state, kind of. They never, but they had far more than just a few. I don't know, like, when I think of city-state, I think more of, like, ancient Greece-style city-states. I think of, like, you know, like Athens and Sparta type, where it really is a city with land around it. Like, the term city-state is a bit more literal. But, okay, so what I'm gathering is that the Golden Slumber is kind of like the beta version of Aru. Like, Aru's a bit more of the completed, well, it was never completed, but it's a bit more There's more stuff in it, is what I'm gathering. But they're the same concept.
We do. We understand the risks involved.
In all likelihood, the mortal world will never again be able to replicate King Deshret's work. Never will there be another chance to come so close to creating a utopia. Knowing this, are you sure of your decision?
Listen, my guy. Listen. The Golden Slumber was never finished. It was made by a god who was out of his mind. Not necessarily in the insane sense, but more so in the laying on the ground frothing at the mouth sense. And even you guys, like, it may have been a nice paradise, but you were also low-key imprisoned for seemingly no real reason, because, again, man was a little bit cuckoo in the head. Look, it was a look, he tried to create the metaverse, and just like the metaverse in real life, it never really went anywhere. So maybe we're doing it a service, shutting it down. You know, you dumped all of that time and money for what? For what? Tell me. For you guys to be able to play chess and find a little bit of inner peace. Bird, the word utopia means nowhere place. It means it's unobtainable by literary design. No, like, exactly. And it is, like, a thing at the fact that, like, Deshret never completed it. Because he was out of it, obviously, but yeah. Your description of it is making me laugh so much. Thank you. Dude, there's nothing more. No, you made me laugh at my own joke. That's, ugh. Listen, I will never get sick of calling the Golden Slumber the metaverse, because that's what it is! Like, I'm sorry, that's essentially what he was making. I will never not call it the metaverse, and I will never not call forbidden knowledge, like, drugs for gods, because that's essentially what it was. Anywho.
We are sure. Before people can dream, they must first live.
If your minds are made up, very well. We shall summon our erstwhile colleagues to discuss this further. Saint Chesapank, Saint Bennu, once you surrendered to silence and were buried with King Deshret.
Oh.
But now, we invoke the right to awaken you with our voices.
Are those the other pillars? Feel this strange sensation. The ground is trembling, as if answering the call of the Goat King. Oh, hey! Are those the spirits of the others?
Responding to your call.
Hey!
3 kings detected. Initiating autonomous will.
Wait. Oh my god, is this AI? Is this King Deshret AI?
Saint Shetsbank, responding to your call. 3 kings detected. Initiating autonomous will.
Oh, no. Let me read these. Okay, so they're not AI. Probably. One of King Deshret's 7 pillars, blah, blah, blah. The saint, the most holy. Unlike the three kings, Chesapank is an intelligent construct. Oh my god, they are AI. Is an intelligent construct fashioned by King Deshret al-Akmar, who entrusted him with the duty of overseeing all of the Jinn of the world? No wonder they went crazy. Chesapank possesses a will of his own. Following the passing of King Deshret al-Akmar, he ceased his own functions and fell into stillness. Though Chesapank and Bennu are both intelligent constructs, their personalities are worlds apart. Where Bennu is severe, Chesapank is leisurely. In times past, he would often wander in the desert in his spare time, asking travelers all manner of questions. Driven by a profound curiosity, he will tirelessly pursue any matter that piques his interest to the very heart. Looking back, this was perhaps because he oversaw the Jinn, whose mother was Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers, an angel of wisdom who delighted in posing questions. Through what the Jinn relayed to him, Chesapank too developed a fondness for inquiry. In short, Chesapank believes that maintaining a leisurely air is a good thing. A piece of a piece of worldly wisdom for navigating life, a sentiment much to Bennu's annoyance. He also often thinks fondly of his old colleague Herman Nubis. Y'all, they all AI. Okay, Bennu. The most radiant, unlike, he's also AI by King Deshret, who entrusted him with the duty of guarding the gates of Aru. I mean, okay, so he's like a firewall. This one's more normal, I guess. Bennu possesses a will of his own. He watches over the eternal utopia within Aru, the Golden Slumber. Following the passing of King Deshret, he ceased his own functions and fell into stillness. Despite being an intelligent construct, Bennu possesses a remarkably vivid personality. Serious and earnest, he detests having his plans disrupted, and has little tolerance for irresponsible colleagues. He has also frankly stated that among the 7 pillars, the colleague he admires the most is Hermanubis, the Sage of Sages. Okay, so you're more normal. This guy's like a firewall, I guess.
Ah, Lord Herreshoff. What a long time it has been. I trust you are keeping well.
Bro, like, imagine... Y'all, okay, so Deshret's 7 pillars, what I'm gathering here, is 1 human, 3 whatever these guys are, yeah, 1 human, whatever these guys are, a dragon who really does not want to be part of this group, but Deshret was crazy enough to do it because he's out of it, and AI. Oh, man. He really was on drugs.
Then your trust in my well-being has long outlived your physical body. You have always opened with that same phrase, in life, death, and now even beyond.
Well, yeah, because he's a robot. Are you sure he has the right to be called king? Listen, he did at one point, at least from like what I could tell. He did at one point. So the thing about Deshret lore is that like his descent into madness, like there was a point to it. The entire reason he wanted to build the Golden Slumber in the first place was because of how much his life descended. And he wanted to go back to the time where his life was like stable. So, does he have the right to be called king? In the past, yeah. A little later in his life, not really. But like, even he knew that. It's very important. Deshret was never stupid. He was just kind of out of it.
Al-Akhmar is long gone. What is the reason for this meeting?
What a breakup can do to a man. Poor king. Hey, that was more than a breakup.
You're awake? Good. We are voting on whether to give the people of present-day Sumeru access to Aru and permit them to perform technological renovations.
Someone should have told him to get over it.
Or oppose the motion.
Someone should have told him. Well, it wasn't just Naval Malikata's death. It was like his whole life. Like his whole life went to shit. She was just like part of it.
Aru is the pride of Al-Akhmar. Opening Aru requires the unanimous consent of the 7 pillars. I hope you have a convincing reason to present to us.
Sumeru is currently in the midst of a major calamity. Let us not forget that while Al-Akhmar was a stern ruler, he was also a teacher of wisdom.
He was the god of wisdom.
A god without his people shall cease to exist, and King Deshret's greatest wish was to provide protection for his people.
Exactly.
Let us then honor our God King's wishes as we consider our decision.
I mean, just reminder, like, he sacrificed himself because he knew how badly things got. So, yeah, no, he's definitely the type to be like, you know what, this project ain't going anywhere. I guess he just sacrificed himself without like, yeah. Anyway.
I do not mean to mock these proceedings, but what is the point of a unanimous vote when we know that the last of the 7 pillars, the Dendro Dragon Apep, will never communicate with us?
Guys. I have the answer for you. Okay. Come here. Deshret is gone. Okay? Deshret is gone. You don't need her, like, you don't need to listen to her. Like, what does her opinion matter? Like Deshret was crazy enough to call her a friend. You know, a pep. Deshret isn't here. Deshret is gone. Y'all can make decisions on your own, guys. He's not here to tell you, wait, but like a pep is part of the 7 pillars. Maybe. Oh, you're right. They are AI. They do follow rules. Ah, you're so right. You're so right. Actually, ugh, I hate how right you are.
This will no doubt surprise your mechanical mind, and I have no intention of trying to persuade you it is true. But a pep is, in fact, healing the Dendro Archon as we speak.
Huh? Can someone attest to this? Do we have any proof?
I ask the 3 kings. Can any of you vouch for the truth of this claim?
Naturally, the Ibis King, Thoth.
He's the one that said this. Except for the 90% of the time that they don't follow their rules. You two make great points. You two make great points. Yeah, no, we just need these AI fellows to follow Deshret's rules, but also, like, not at the same time. Like, the more they keep talking, the more they start to hallucinate and suddenly go, you know what, through X, Y, and Z, we don't need a pep's consent.
What?
It was Thoth's disciples who revealed the truth to us. We need not debate its veracity. Simply let Thoth bear accountability. That way the rest of us may have a clear conscience.
Harishef, you diabolical fiend.
I awakened our former colleagues for you, supported your opinion, and backed your decision. What sort of fiend would do that?
The AI be like, in serio?
I miss the days when Hermanubis was still around.
Dang.
At times like this, he would offer to take accountability.
Bro, Hermanubis was the goat of these.
What are you trying to say? Is my word worth less to you than Hermanubis's?
Hypocrite though you are, Lord Thoth, you are humorous in equal measure. How could we bear not to associate with a character such as you? I, Saint Shezpank, approve the Goat King's proposal.
Since King Deshret is no more, we shall receive no reprimand for acting beyond our remit. Nevertheless, I sincerely hope that those before us understand the significance of what they intend to do. Remember, the moment that Aru is liberated, the myriad souls residing within the Golden Slumber will return to the ley lines. And once the ley lines flow again, these souls shall in turn be received by Irminsul.
Can they stop bickering like a bunch of children? Their region of the world is screwed if they don't do something. Well, now they're doing something.
To take this step is to bring the perfect afterlife created by our king to a permanent end.
Bennu, my guy. I know that you are AI, so you're obviously constructed, for, this. But it was never finished, okay? The project was never finished. It's half-baked as well, as Cyrus said, like humans could do. Humans could make it. It was unfinished, it was half-baked, it was made by a guy who could probably not even type words correctly on a keyboard anymore. Like, the Golden Slumber was a failed project. Okay, maybe not from the start, but the longer it went on, the more the cracks started to show. You know, like the actual metaverse. I already made that joke, though.
We understand that well, and we have decided to proceed regardless. Furthermore, the contemporary human perspective would contend that confining souls in this way is no act of benevolence. The deceased have a right to rest in peace.
Okay, well, to be fair, Sino, like, I'm playing devil's advocate for both sides. To be fair, Sino, like, Deshret's entire, like, purpose for the Golden Slumber, aside from, like, taking himself back to a time where everything was good, it was also a way to, like, break people away from the shackles of fate and stuff like that, you know, like... there's a lot of questions and mysteries over what exactly the Irminsul is really for, kind of things. Whether or not it's a good thing, whether or not it's a bad thing, it doesn't really matter. The whole point is that Deshret didn't really like it so much that his people followed like a predetermined path. It's one of the purposes of the Golden Slumber. So like, anyway.
King Deshret's creation is clearly a place of rest and peace.
Yeah, like I said.
It is just that many do not see it this way. But no matter. Saint Binu approves.
Yeah. No, it's like, it's Obsidian Aurora says, shut down the incomplete matrix, at least, then whoever got stuck in there can finally rest. Yeah, like the intentions and the purpose of the Golden Slumber is really sweet. It's really sweet. But as I mentioned 2 times before, it was never finished. And I'd wager that it doesn't even work that well. So, it was a good experiment that was just, that just never bared any fruit. So yeah, might as well.
Hermanubis' representative and the Dendro Dragon Apep made their choice ahead of time, while the Goat King, Ibis King, and Crocodile King have also granted permission to liberate Aru. By the grace of His Majesty, guided by his wisdom and will, let the gates of Aru be reopened.
Pyramid shaped. Oh! I mean, yeah, it makes sense, yeah. It looks very Irminsul. Oh, hey! Oh, birds! Oh, he kept birds in there.
Hey! Look at that!
What's this? Are we under attack? No. Wait.
No! 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 No way! Wait! No. Okay. Oh my god. A thing came to my mind. These look like souls. Silhouettes approached us from within the light, then passed through our bodies like wind through a veil.
Here you are. Through the sands of time. I see you.
Father, is it real?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know why I said no. This is great. Oh my god.
It's Jet's father, Jibriel. That's right. He entered
Yes,
the Golden
yes,
Slumber,
he
didn't
did. He did. He got swallowed up by the void.
I smell blood and sand on you. You've grown. Strong as a wild beast, and without shedding a tear.
You have to leave, don't you?
No.
Please, just answer me this. What should I do for you?
This meeting is a blessing from the gods. My soul, once imprisoned along with that of Samael, is finally free. I am truly grateful for the chance to see you again. That the dead should meet the living is itself a miracle. One brief, precious moment is enough. Enough to set my heart at ease. Do not weep for me, Jeht. I know you will accomplish many great things in your life. You will go further and climb higher than I ever did. All I ask is that you take good care of yourself.
And thus he fades away. Bird!
Father!
No, that was messed up. That was messed up, Hoyo.
Hey, Jet. Do you want something to eat? Maybe it'll help you feel better.
I'm fine. Thanks, Paimon.
I mean, yeah.
It was just a little sudden. The chance to see my father again meant the world to me.
Let me read some of these comments that I missed. I have a rebuttal to this AI Sorry, I have a rebuttal to this AI since this thing wasn't finished and likely doesn't work. Whoever is stuck in there is probably facing absolute torment because their data is being scrambled. Maybe. Like, I get what you mean. Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. But, I don't know. I feel like we need details on, like, what exactly it was like in the Golden Slumber, in Aru. Because, like, from Thoth's description, I mean, it was kind of boring. It was kind of boring. Like, there was, like he basically said, like, there's not too much to do here, except, like, play board games. Which, I mean, I guess you could say is in and of itself a type of torment, but it also is in line with what Deshret wanted. Like, I want peace. Like, I want a land that is full of peace with, like, no, like, wars or conflicts and stuff like that. And so it makes sense that to people trapped in there, or people he put in there, like, you could see it as torturous, but it's mostly just a little boring. And then I cried, y'all. I almost cried. Technically yes, but also no, that isn't her father. That's just a digital copy. Bird, the symbol of hope and freedom. Yep. Board games. Were they playing Scrabble? I don't know. They said that they just played, like, board games all day. I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as to say digital copy. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that. I personally do think it was their genuine soul. But yeah, I mean, personally, I'm just talking personally, of course. If you want to see it differently, like, go ahead. But personally, I just kind of think it, because the realm was so peaceful, it was just kind of boring.
He was trapped in the Golden Slumber for our sake. And now, after all this time, he can finally rest in peace. I'm glad. It's a huge relief.
However, like, oh, sorry, I'm just, like, continuing on with what I said. I do agree with what you said, though, because the Golden Slumber is unfinished. Yeah, no, like, even if it was peaceful, it probably, like, glitched all the time. That's true. That's it. They only play board games. How are you supposed to stay sane if that's the only thing you can do? A human mind needs a bunch of things to stay sane. I mean, we don't really know what it was like in there. I'm just describing what the bird guy said.
You've grown strong, Jeht.
Yo,
More
she
than
talking.
enough to fend for yourself.
Yeah. I'll leave the past in my memory where it belongs. My family, the good times and the bad. Goodbye, Father.
Aww. That's sweet. That's so sweet. Aww.
Ah, me, what a touching reunion that was. It seems we did a good deed today.
We three retainers, once imprisoned for our iniquity, are surely the least qualified to judge whether this deed is good or bad. Either way, Aru is open. Now you have your opportunity, and with it, whatever trouble may ensue. Although Aru was created by a god, human craftsmanship was nevertheless required to build the gate that connects it to this world. Perhaps the relationship between gods and humanity follows a similar principle.
As for your proposed renovations, we cannot determine which functions to keep or discard. Proceed as you see fit, but please entrust the task to your most accomplished scholars, or Bennu will be most displeased.
Makes sense.
It matters not. The Ibis King shall be accountable if any problems arise. Ibis, you chose to take on disciples, and so it follows that you must accept the risks of associating with humans.
Dang.
If I'd known you'd be like this, I would have locked all of you away in Aru, never to leave again for all eternity.
All of us? What does this have to do with me?
I love these
Vilify
guys.
me no further. Scholars, since you have liberated Aru, allow me to present you with a gift. Using Aru's power, we shall install a defense mechanism at our king's mausoleum. You must be guarded even against Irminsul itself.
Makes sense.
This shall afford you some convenience, unseen and unheard. From this moment forth, none may by sight or hearing perceive anything said or done. within the mausoleum.
Okay, okay. Also for your previous comment that you made, what do you mean? It's simple if it's made by a madman. How is it supposed to make sense to anyone who isn't mad? I mean, I guess what I meant is that it probably wasn't... I'm just guessing here, okay? I am just guessing from what I know of the lore, okay? So I might be wrong, okay? I'm just letting y'all know that. I guess what I mean is that, like, by simple, I don't necessarily mean simple. I guess I more so just mean sloppy. Like, it probably wasn't... the Deshret who built it, or at least built most of it, wasn't the person who thought of it. You know, who initially thought of it from in the very start, when he was still fine. And so, like, I'd call it headcanon, because this is kind of getting into headcanon territory, but I imagine that the Golden Slumber wasn't exactly peak performance, you know what I mean? It wasn't constructed in the way it would have been if he didn't go crazy. So it was more slapdash than easy to connect. That makes more sense. I mean, that's just, like, of course, this is basically a headcanon of mine. This is just from what I'm able to tell from, like, the lore and stuff like that. I mean, they did kind of clarify that it seems like the realm itself cannot be made by people because Deshret was a god, and it's basically another realm, kind of, sort of. But the entrance, what did I say, like the entrance or something? Hold up. Yeah, although Aru was created by a god, human craftsmanship was nevertheless required to build the gate that connects it to this world. Okay. So it's like the connection that is, like, human-made. But the actual realm is still very much like his own thing.
Amazing. And all this is achieved just with the power of Aru?
All the what? Oh, yeah, okay, the defense thing.
With technology from the heavens, the possibilities are endless.
Fair enough.
Just because King Deshret did not use it for this purpose does not mean that it cannot be done. So, marvel away. This is the reward you have earned.
All right. Well, that resolves the issue of confidentiality. What about the technical side? Do we have the manpower?
Why, yes. I've already contacted them. They'll be here soon.
As all falls into emptiness. Who's manpower? And hopefully they don't turn this into a gun or a bomb. Knowing Genshin, that is a possibility. Where's the book? Oh, I can't open the book. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Hey, yo, how y'all doing?
Ah, fresh air. A wondrous feeling.
Naturally.
I have a sudden urge to stretch my legs. Can anyone recommend a suitable leisure activity?
I might have had some recommendations for you were this the past, but here and now, for someone who has just left prison, there could be no greater joy than simply being outside of it at last.
I could not agree more.
You good, girl?
As I thought. The so-called 7 pillars of King Deshret are as underwhelming as ever.
Girl, what are you talking about? You know them. You've known them in the past. What? Dude, everything Lilupar says, like, literally makes me like, what are you talking about? Which, to be fair, I guess is the point.
What do you mean? Not a fan of the boys' club?
As men, as individuals, and even as gods, they are entirely undeserving of my attention.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Al-Ahmar once commanded me to select a king from among the people. So naturally my eyes will open only for one who is worthy.
Like your husband? Who, like, y'all's relationship, like, just crashed and burned to the point that it destroyed a whole city? And your children?
Ugh. Can we talk about something else? It all sounds pretty complicated, and I haven't read that many storybooks.
You think this is a mere story? Well, many would also say that the journey you shared with your father is not but a tale. My life, your life, they are nothing but stories.
I mean that's true. Yeah. What you say is a story is her life. Yeah.
Little girl, it appears that you really have grown. In the past, you would have flown into a blind rage at my words, but now you are unperturbed.
Oh, it's nothing. I just feel like you're right.
Aw, look at them. The two of them getting along.
Getting all pissed at someone for telling the truth is pointless. It only makes me look petty.
I mean, she was right, yeah.
This alone is proof enough of your growth. You're doing well, my dear girl. You're becoming ever stronger. Strong enough to defend the people and things you hold dear.
You think so? I hope you're right.
Ah, it's adorable. I like that. That's cute. That is really cute. Any other guys over here? Anyone else? Hey, how are you guys doing?
You must be Sethos, the successor to the Temple of Silence.
Yup. That's me. Nefer, right? That's what I heard the others calling you. Judging by your outfit, I'm guessing you come from the desert too?
That's right. Started off in the desert, went to the rainforest, then went from there to Nodcry, where I work as an intel broker.
Huh. Well, this is interesting. You don't seem to talk about yourself all that much. Yet here you are, volunteering your life story to me. However abridged.
Maybe I'm looking to make some new friends.
No?
I like making friends too. I'm easier to talk to than Sino and a little more streetwise than Tainari.
Cute.
Which is why you came over this way, giving me the chance to strike up a conversation with you.
Was I that obvious?
I think you did fine. You were mindful of my attitude and hoped to lure me in through sentiment.
Lure you in isn't exactly how I'd put it. I see it more as an invitation.
An invitation to what?
To put down your luggage. Lay down your burdens. To return to your homeland. And be truly welcome in the place you once felt so estranged from.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake dumping your tragic anime backstory onto this guy.
You're a more
now he's getting all in
interesting
your
heir
feels
to Bamoon than I was expecting.
Since you're familiar with my grandfather, I'll assume you're aware of our situation. I'd like to make friends with you. And I think you'd be a great asset to us. Not to mention the power you and I both hold. Originally belonged to the same organization.
Aha. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
What about you?
Do you hear that? Sounds like your teacher is scolding mine.
Huh. Classic.
Did you see her? She's a former Vahumana student who dropped out of the academia and went to Nodcry to work as an intel broker. There's more to her than meets the eye.
How can you tell? Do the Matra have information on her?
Some, but nothing telling. I'm basing it on the fact that she seems to be an expert liar. She can fool many with her words.
Yep, that is her whole thing.
A sixth sense for liars after investigating so many of them, I take it?
Yep. What about you? What do you make of her?
A little earlier, in the corner, I noticed she gave some supplies to Jeht and had her deliver them to the main group.
She's meticulous and highly observant.
Besides, what was it you said? Making it to the top is no easy feat in any profession.
The boys are
Anyone
gossiping.
who's at the top of their game has to have some sort of edge over others.
It's true. But she's not the only one at the top of her game. I also am. And so are you.
You look as though we got a little parallel of a Sino with Tignari, and then Cyrus, and the other guy.
Sure, but what's to guarantee she won't overhear us talking about her?
Very little. She probably
Don't
heard you
worry.
already.
I have my methods. Sethos is distracting her.
How effective is it?
I see.
How effective is it? I wonder. Alright, what about you guys? Oh, okay, no voice lines? Okay, fine, I'll give them. And what's your prize student doing? What else would he be doing? Whatever yours is, eh? And Kale's with them, I suppose. Huh. These kids are rarely apart, are they? Our elders always said that your school days stay with you forever. This goes doubly doubly so for Sumeru, where school days can be long indeed, wouldn't you say? Well, does it look like I'm immune, saddled as I am with you and Zahahadi? Isn't that the lady you have a crush on? Oh, what's that? Tired of us already? And speaking of Zahahadi, she mentioned out of the blue how you doodle on your books while studying. That's hardly all I used to do while hitting the books. She said that you once circled the name of the murderer in a detective novel, and that, just in case one missed it, you even wrote, "The murderer is so-and-so," as a hint. On the title page, no less. Did I now? Ha! I suppose I was always the creative type. I'll laugh it up, would you? Young Cyrus really was a budding genius, wasn't he? Full of wild ideas, more like. You're still very much that kid, you know? A living example of how your school days stick with you. As they have with you, you straight-laced prig. You know what? Let's leave it at that. Might as well bear with one another. Might as well bear with one another rather than expect us to turn our lives around or something. Truth be told, you should probably keep an eye on Sino and his friends. We'll all need to tread more carefully than we used to. I'll keep track of your son. I will. Take care of yourself as well, alright? Don't let the pressure get to you. Dialogue and duos. Dang, they really did them like that! They really did. They're like, these boys right here are together all the time. Like, all the time. And Kale's always with them. And you know, Kale's basically been living with them since she was a kid. Guys, I think they might be like a thing. Okay, I'll stop. Alright. Man, you know what? I think in stories we need more reminiscing about the school days representation. You know, I know for a lot of people school absolutely sucked. But see, I personally was one of those very, very, very few people that actually kind of liked school. So, or I guess more accurately, like life was good type of thing, I guess. And I do kind of miss it. There are some times where I think back and I'm like, ah man, I remember I did this and that with my friends, or I used to draw like comics on the back of like my math homework, or like, and there are times where I'm like, man, I kind of miss those days, you know? Do I want to go back to those days? But I do think back on them fondly. So, nice to see that we got some old people being like, yeah, I remember my school days. Anywho, wait for a while.
You must be the ones tasked by the Academia with renovating Aru?
Yeah, Sethos distracts Nefer. It's not like they are making an association right now. Okay.
That's right. Good afternoon. I'm Kaveh, and these two are Termezi and Naisaburi. Hey, I'll hate them. Come and introduce yourself.
We've met before. This is Thoth, the Ibis King, and everyone knows these two.
No, you're not gonna introduce them?
Gentlemen.
No? Oh, you're not? Okay. Dang. Screw them, I guess.
I've only ever seen these two in murals.
Ah, the paintings in the temple. They show us chatting, playing cards, playing chess. Precisely the activities we most enjoy, funnily enough.
No, only you enjoy playing chess. I'm just humoring you.
It was boring.
I wouldn't go that far.
Like, I thought it was alright.
Back to the matter at hand. A preliminary assessment by the Academia indicates that this project requires expertise in various disciplines, including the deciphering of ancient texts, mechanical engineering, the restoration of ancient ruins, and elemental theory. The most capable minds in their respective fields are here before you. If there are no objections, we'd like to begin our work.
The artisans who built Aru for Al-Ahmar gave their very lives to create this splendid work. Follow their example by giving your utmost devotion to this project.
I didn't know that. We'll do our best, of course, but we certainly won't be sacrificing our lives.
Sorry, I don't feel like dying today.
Such brazen words. Humans these days are a far cry from their ancestors. What little respect you show for King Deshret.
Loki kind of right, though. Yes, the most respectable minds of the age. You have 2 extras right next to you. Definitely, 100%. Man, I love the hey, look at the characters you're supposed to look at.
No, that's not
Spot
what I meant.
the main character.
Please don't mind him. He shares your sentiments, just not your, penchant for hyperbole. Assuming that's what you were going for?
That was not hyperbole.
I just think it's important to manage expectations.
I mean, he's not wrong, yeah. He's not wrong. He's like, okay, pretty cool that people, Loki sacrificed themselves to, make basically like a second heaven, sort of say. Yeah, it's pretty cool and sweet and all, but, we're kind of doing this to, the poor NPCs. We're kind of doing this to not die, you know? We're kind of doing this so that Sumeru doesn't die. So I don't really feel like dying today. What do you mean, far cry from our ancestors? We behave the same from a millennia ago. I mean, I think he means that, like, people were more willing to, like, sacrifice themselves for the greater good or for a greater cause type thing, while people like Al-Haytham's like, nah.
Forgive my
I don't feel like dying today.
But we simply can't sacrifice our lives to the gods on completion of the project like people in the legends of old. Here's a first draft of the project proposal for your perusal. Please let us know if you have any requests. Normally, I'd have made it look a lot more visually appealing, but we were really pressed for time on this occasion. I hope you'll forgive me if it's a little rough around the edges.
Naturally.
If my fellow ministers deem this meager display of respect sufficient, I suppose I can consider agreeing to their proposal.
It's called self-preservation, something that should have been in high gear, especially considering the age. Like what do you mean?
Why are you so preoccupied with the ostentatious displays of respect to Al-Ahmar? We should be trying to make things easy for them. You never know. We might have to rely on these young people to look after us in our old age.
Because he's AI. Because he had a set of rules to follow, and he is literally programmed to follow the rules, and then break them 2 seconds later. Just let him talk for like 10 more minutes, and then he'll start hallucinating and breaking the rules. Just, come on, guys. Didn't y'all work with machines in the past?
Exactly.
This is Aru's mainframe. Be reminded to use it with great caution.
We certainly will. Thank you for your assistance.
You may attempt to lay out punishment should you so desire, though I'm afraid it would be futile. You and I both know that certain components of Aru can only be operated by humans.
What was that? No, what was that? That little...
You may attempt to lay out punishment should you so desire, though I'm afraid it would be futile.
We're right
You
before
and I
he
both
says
know
humans.
that certain components of Aru can only be operated by humans.
Yo, do you hate humans or something?
King Deshret always believed in humanity.
Yeah.
Still, the reason that Aru's modules are designed that way is not so much because he trusted them, but more because he was wary of you.
Is that true? No wonder human artisans helped to build Aru then. He actually required human assistance to create his greatest work.
What in the Milky Way are you implying, crocodile man?
Naturally.
Have you noticed that the Goat King keeps giving superficial responses? It's like he's just going through the motions and leaving the real debate to his colleagues.
I mean, obviously, because I read his, like, little description. Yeah, he's not a guy that gives opinions. He's more so of a guy who just, like, watches and sees how things play out and then makes decisions based on what he sees.
He understands the art of perfunctory speech. That's what earned him his position as the Minister of Ministers. It seems the rumors about King Deshret being a poor judge of character are baseless after all.
Excuse me for being blunt, but it sounds suspiciously like you're putting yourself on a pedestal and mocking me.
These two.
You're mistaken. And while there's nothing strictly wrong with making every conversation about yourself, it's not exactly a positive tendency either.
Sure.
You? Whatever. I knew it'd be like this working with you. All right, let me past. I need to look at this console.
It's your job to activate it after all. Let's begin. Everyone, please proceed with the external checks and preparations as per the procedures outlined in the engineering plan.
Bro, why are you leaning like that? Because as much as Kaveh would hate to admit it, he likes to hear the man speak. I love that Alhaitham looks at the goat guy and goes, yeah, I like him. He's my fave.
Hello there, youngsters.
Meh.
Whoa, the Ibis King came to life.
Bro, you saw him earlier.
What do you mean, came to life? I've been alive the whole time.
Exactly.
You did say we could start our research, right? Are you having second thoughts now?
I've reviewed the proposal. The work you're planning to carry out on this grand device is ambitious in its scope. You have ample confidence in your abilities, I take it?
I wouldn't say I'm feeling hugely confident. But given how bad things are, I'd rather at least try something than sit around waiting to die.
He wishes to mingle with the NPCs.
You are the top scholars of your day. I trust you are aware that there are countless links between Aru and the Akasha.
Makes sense.
Aru and the Akasha? But I thought the Akasha was the Academia's greatest technological accomplishment, created years ago by the Dendro Archon to help her people access knowledge.
And you too? Do you not know either?
You've read the instruction manual, right? You tell them.
An instruction manual? The Akasha has an instruction manual? The Dendro Archon is a kind and thoughtful god indeed.
Guess that wasn't common back then.
It used to sit on a shelf in the corner at the House of Dana. Not the most popular read.
Love that.
If the manual is to be believed, Aru was in fact the original inspiration for the Akasha system.
Okay.
What? But there are so few records about Aru anywhere. And practically none of these scientific expeditions into the desert had anything to do with it.
Ah, but this is something you could not possibly
Yeah,
have
because they
known.
didn't know.
You may have heard many stories about the desert, but what is the most important aspect of history? Consider this a quiz. Anyone from Vahumana present?
I'm from Vahumana. It's, well, veracity.
Precisely. And a large part of veracity is the chronological order in which events occur. I may as well tell you. In the beginning, Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers, descended upon Sumeru. The glory of the heaven was within her. She brought life, oases, and knowledge to this land.
Is he just telling the story of Sumeru then? Okay. Alright. I mean, yeah, no, like, it makes sense, you know. Rukkhadevata and Deshret used to be friends. Deshret had big technological stuff going on. He died. it makes sense that she was inspired by some of his work. Yeah, it all checks out.
Then she created the Jinn, enlightened them, and ordered them to serve her. 2 other gods also walked upon this land where wisdom flowed in abundance, and the 3 met beneath the great green trees. It was the first and greatest alliance. We should speak with reverence of this covenant between the 3, which transcended both time and life. For they promised that in Sumeru, wisdom would be shared with all.
Yep.
All the great changes in Sumeru's history began with the goddess of flowers. For King Deshret's sake, she pried into the secrets of Celestia, and for this was burned to ashes by the flames of wrath.
So wait, so is that what happened? Oh, that actually might be what happened to her then. Now, I say this because, like, from what I remember of Sumeru lore, the circumstances of her death were kind of a mystery.
So grieved was King Deshret by her passing that he lost all interest in state affairs and devoted himself instead to the knowledge that she had brought back.
The forbidden knowledge.
It was after learning of the technology from that floating island in the sky that he first conceived of Aru. And so, the Akasha was inspired by Aru, while the basis for Aru itself came from Celestia's technology.
Yeah, checks out, checks out.
Well, if the 2 share a common technological origin, then connecting one system to the other is an entirely feasible idea.
Unbelievable. Have you no reverence at all for celestial technology?
Well, like, I don't really know anything about celestial technology. I just learned that they had technology today. I say as Kaveh, like, it's pretty obvious, but, like, I imagine that for, like, an average human, they're just like, I mean, I'm not surprised because the gods be using tech all the time, but, like, I don't know shit about, like, celestial technology, so it's hard to have any emotions for it.
No, I do, but there's no time for that. The schedule is too tight. Blame it on deadline.
Perhaps you could try coming up with our cutoff dates.
You know what it's like having to turn around 5 different drafts in one day? I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
I've done that with 3 drafts, and it's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, also, Sir Ibis, King, you don't plan on getting directly involved at all, do you?
What was that delivery? Dude, sometimes the voice acting
Yeah,
is...
also, Sir Ibis, King, you don't plan on getting directly involved at all, do you?
That felt like a first take, oh my gosh.
Yes, well, you strike us more as having come to give a popular science lecture. Or, wait, does this count as more of a first-hand witness statement?
Neither. Anyway, this sounds like far too much work for me.
Still, if Aru is so powerful, why didn't King Deshret use it for more ambitious ends?
Guys, have you not been listening literally this entire time? He basically wanted to create his own heaven.
Because it was never fully completed.
That too.
King Deshret had grand plans, but he perished before they could come to fruition. In the beginning, his wish was to create something that could rival the very world itself. The Lord of Flowers sacrificed everything for that ambition. What he desired, she bestowed, and thus was knowledge brought into the world. Her courage and sacrifice had to be honored with the most splendid of monuments, or King Deshret would surely have deemed it a grave injustice.
I have thoughts about, like, how he's speaking about her. 'Cause, oh man, I know I say this, like, every time I get into Sumeru lore. I need to freshen up on the Nabu Malikata stuff. Because this is sounding very what Thoth thinks about her, and not necessarily how she was like.
And that monument, built from knowledge and technology, etched with a sacrificial and courageous love, even in its unfinished form, it deserves to be treasured.
All I can hear is the in the beginning meme.
At that time, King Deshret said the following to the Lord of Dendro.
Wait, did I miss something? Okay.
Since we share an eternal covenant, I shall never be your enemy.
Aww.
Hence, the fruit of wisdom from the heavens is not to be devoured. Remember, it is not that I lack the power to become the enemy of wisdom. Yet you and she have taught me much and shown me kindness. For this, I cherish you both. In the end, Aru was only used to store a portion of the souls. It was but a primitive form of the masterwork the king had envisaged. His final hope for Aru was to return to the past, when she yet lived.
So the point you're making is, King Deshret was both powerful and ambitious, and he only ceased his imperious ways out of affection for the goddess of flowers and the Dendro Archon. You could see this as an act of mercy, but you could also see it as the sentiments that lay between these three gods placing constraints on him.
Okay.
This was, after all, the foundation of the alliance between them.
Okay. I was not interpreting it that way, but sure. He only ceased his imperious ways out of affection for the two of them. Wait, So I'm just like rereading this. Okay. It's a bit more of a war type, which I mean makes sense since like Archon War and stuff. A bit more of like a god who fought a lot until he met two women who calmed him down. But the three gods placing restraints on him. This was, after all, the foundation of the alliance.
This explains why Aru was both a prison and a monument, and why the answer to the three questions was time.
You have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all manner of misfortune. This is as true for gods as it is for humans.
I'm just trying to understand all of this, I guess. I don't know. No, wait, no, I already read this part. Explains why Aru was both a prison and a monument. Why the answer to the three questions was time. So it's like I guess like thematically it's just like Aru was meant to be something bigger, but his love, I guess, made it into a very specific thing that even then it wasn't finished.
Love is the same. It is both a prison and a monument.
Dang.
All right, let us pause the story here for now. Seeing as you've been so diligent, I'll offer a little help. Who's in charge again? Is it you two?
Ah, yes, me and him.
Now then, close your eyes. Wisdom hides in the space between the tangible and the intangible. It is to convey the incommunicable through the simplest of mediums. By the power of King Deshret, I shall grant you a glimpse into the unseen secrets that lie at the threshold of existence.
Okay. Ew, that looks like his pyramid.
Where did this come from? Is it a new mechanism?
It looks more like some form of externalized information. You've rendered it visible?
Just as the Akasha allows you to access a greater range of knowledge, the power of our king permits one to perceive ingenuities that do not belong to this world. This is no ordinary mechanism. It reflects the internal structure of Aru.
Okay, so like the hardware?
Whether you choose to increase or decrease, keep or discard. Come, use these to achieve the outcome you desire.
Looks mechanical to me. Better let me handle it, just in case. But wait, how do I get up there?
Turn around.
So that's where the elevator is.
Okay, whoa, 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 you be scaring me there. You be scaring me there. Okay. I think this is probably where we're going to end the stream. I know. But, we've been streaming for a hot minute, and, yeah, I think this is a decent place to end it, honestly. Yeah, no, not a bad place to end it at all. Learned a lot about the golden slumber, which is pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I don't really have much to say, like, here right now. I guess we're just gonna go back to the to the void. Yeah. So let's go ahead and yeah, we can do that. Now we're in the grid. Okay. Hey, yo, it's Pyramid. It's the Pyramid. Great stream as always, thanks. And now it's time for our fun little talking section. Let's just get all my other things. That it? What's in the mail? What do I have for mail? I have this. I do have this. I do got this. Oh yeah, it was Sino's birthday! That's right! It was Sino's birthday. Adorable. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go on to the infinite void, plop this on. Let's put back the Sumeru music. Alright. Oh, whoops. Alright. What did I think about this section of the story? Lore-wise? Amazing. Awesome. Incredible. Story-wise, I like, it's a bit, like, hit or miss for me. Because on one hand, it kind of feels like we're putting the greater story on hold a little bit. It kind of feels like we kind of stopped the plot to focus on the pillars and Thoth and Deshret and the Golden Slumber and blah blah blah. At the same time, though, this is clearly, like, one of the big, especially for lore players. I say this specifically for the lore players, like me. This is a massive section of the story, like, for us. Like, this is incredible. Getting to meet these characters that only really exist in the lore, getting to learn a little bit more about here and there, finally acknowledging things that have been, like, buried for literal years. Like, for a lore player, this is incredible. However, I am also a little bit seeing it a little bit as like the story, right? And I do see a little flaw that, like, it does feel like we're putting the story on hold. At the same time, cause how I think about, how I analyze, I guess, the stories that we're playing. I think about it in the sense of, like, what do I think of it? What would an audience think of it? But also, because I feel like this is important as well, like, what was the purpose of it? Like as a writer type thing. And, lower the volume a little bit. What was the purpose of it as a writer, you know? And the devs mentioned, I know say this all the time, but I do feel like it is something that needs to be repeated, I guess. And it's that the entire Luna patch cycle, the entire Nodcry era, because we're still technically in the era until Snezhnaya comes out, the entire Genshin Luna cycle was made with the intention of making the lore more easier to understand for the casual player. Which is why they're talking about the Golden Slumber and the Djinn and Kale's Archon residue, well, God remains, whatever, that she has. Like, the entire reason why they're repeating it, well, not necessarily repeating it, but, like, bringing it up in this way is specifically because, yeah, the devs kind of realized they shot themselves in the foot. They knew that with their very clunky storytelling, especially in the first few years, and they're trying to remedy that before we get to Snezhnaya and then Conria and stuff. Putting the side content in the main story now is at the expense of the main story. I like and hate it. My thoughts exactly. Cause, like, I think for the first few years of Genshin, it didn't stuck out very much. You know, we had the Archon Quest, which was the main story, and then, like, Story Quest, which was more, like, fun side content, and then World Quest, which was just kinda, if you wanna do them. And then it slowly, like, as the lore and just world of Genshin just expanded more and more and more, like, every single quest started to be more and more important. However, it kind of sort of started to feel like, oh, you had to play this story to understand what's going on with the main, when it should have been in the main. And I feel like I'm saying this with everything. Like, it's really starting to show the more Genshin approaches endgame. I just really appreciate that the devs did kind of realize their mistake, and they are trying to fix it, which is why they're doing this in the first place. But yeah, so, like, you know, for lore players, especially for, like, people who really like Sumeru, you know, they probably already know about the Kale stuff, especially if you read the webcomic. They probably knew about the Kale stuff, and the Deshret, Nabu Malikata, probably even the Pillars if you were that deep into it. And, like, and for, like, a lore player, this pause in the story to, like, hey, look at this and let's learn a few more details while also getting some recap, it's awesome. But I also can't help but feel like it just be like a little overwhelming, because yeah, we are kind of putting the story on hold just for a little bit. So I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, like, on one hand, I love it, but on the other hand, I'm also like, I could have been done better. But on the other hand, I also acknowledge the fact that this is just kind of the hand the devs created for themselves, and they're trying to remedy it as much as they can. You know, I feel like that's important if we want to talk about the Luna patches, the stories in the Luna patches. I think that is something we need to think about. That's something that I feel like people don't talk about too much when it comes to, like, reviewing, I guess, like, the stories in this, like, Nod Cry patch cycle, is the fact that, yeah, they shot themselves in their foot and they're trying to fix it, and of course, because they're trying to fix it, it can come off as, like, a little clunky, a little weird, but, like, as a writer myself, I see them trying to I see what they're trying to do, and I think for the most part they are succeeding. I do think they are succeeding for the most part. It's just that the mistakes they made in the past really are starting to catch up. Like, I mentioned this with Kale. You know, they're bringing up the fact that she has God remains as if it's... As if the player already knows. They're like, Kale, you know you have God remains. Yeah, I do. You know, because I guess the devs expected, like, everybody to have read the webcomic, which they haven't. Not everybody has read the webcomic. I have read it, but that's because I like Genshin lore that much. But not everybody has. And for something this integral to not just Kale's character, but I feel like Cyno's character as well, because this was his very, very first appearance. For something, it was our first hint at anything Sumeru, before the game even came out. You know, like, I feel like, and like I mentioned, the parallels between Kale and Cyno, which they do acknowledge, like, this feels like something integral enough to their characters that it should have been, maybe not in the main story, maybe in their side stories or something, I don't know. So, yeah, but the game kind of sort of expects you to already know this. And I understand the thrill there is in side stories, right? I understand the thrill of, like, oh, you want to learn more about Kale's backstory? Read the webcomic type thing. But I also feel like if it is going to be important to the main story, it should have been in the main story. I don't think it's not a good idea to force the audience basically to do homework just to understand what's going on. So yeah, that's what I think of that. Anyway, aside from critiques, let's talk about the lore. let's talk about the lore a little bit. Okay, so First things first, the Golden Slumber, Aru, all of that. Okay, so thank you, Genshin, for explaining to me that Aru and the Golden Slumber are basically the exact same thing. I guess the Golden Slumber was just the beta version of it, and Aru was a bit more of a completed version, albeit incomplete, of course. The only reason I know that fact about Kale is because the Genshin lore YouTuber had explained it to me, not because I knew beforehand that the manga existed, just accepted. Yeah, no, yeah. I mentioned this in a previous stream, but Kale's personality completely threw me for a loop. Because I mean, obviously Kale's a lot younger in the webcomic, but if you read the webcomic, that's a different character. Kale is a very, very different character. And I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to show Kale's growth. They were trying to show that, like, oh, look, she's better now, she's in a better situation, she has a better life. And so obviously she's a much more, like, calm, I guess. Like, a much more calm, nice, like, kinder person, as opposed to the angry, bitter child she used to be that absolutely hated everything. Child Kale was a menace, literally. And also just, she was absolutely full of self-hatred in the past as well. And, oh my god, I remember in the summer event, I never streamed this, but in the summer event, where Kale goes to Mondstadt and she hangs out with Amber, absolutely adorable. Sucks for the players who didn't read the webcomic, and so they're like, why is Kale so attached to Amber? Oh man, I have issues with how Kale's story was presented. But they also show Kale getting along with Kaya, which I thought was weird. Cause again, like, I knew about, like, I read that webcomic before Sumeru came out. The only thing about Kale that I knew was from that webcomic. And in the webcomic, not only is she this angry, bitter child who eventually softens up a little bit due to being close to Amber, but also had a fight with Kaya, and Kaya was just about to kill her, and right before he does, Kale looks at him and says, "Please kill me." And Kaya, like, stops himself because he didn't expect her to say that. And that's before, I think, like, Jean and Amber rush in to be like, yo, what is going on? What's happening? And then Kale runs away, I think. I don't remember too well. And so, when they were like, hey, Kale's going back to Mondstadt to meet up with Amber and the gang, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to see Kale, like, meet with Kaya again and just kind of and just be uncomfortable around him because, you know, he nearly freaking killed her. And that did not happen. And instead she was like, you know, Kaya is pretty cool. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I thought this girl would have, like, legit PTSD by seeing him. And like I said, like, I get why they did this. I get it's supposed to show Kale's growth. But it did kind of feel a little weird, because it's like, it did kind of feel like there was a change in her character, like, behind the scenes wise. Or maybe, like, the webcomic, or at least the canon of the webcomic probably changed. But at the same time, they're also expecting you to read the webcomic, and it's a little weird. I jumped right back with the criticisms. I love Kale, I love her story, I just have issues on how it was presented. Because, oh man, I was talking with a friend. This was way back, this was back when, like, Sumeru came out. And I told this friend that Kale's personality low-key disappointed me. Specifically because, like, the Kale I knew was just not that, and I was like, this was not the character I was expecting for it to be Kale. And then my friend was like, oh, but Kale is such a cute character. And then I told my friend, like, that's the problem. She wasn't supposed to be, or, like, she wasn't. She wasn't supposed to be this cute, kind character. She was supposed to be, I mean, I wasn't expecting Kale to be this bitter, angry child like she was in the webcomic. By the end of the comic, she's a lot softer, she's a lot happier, of course, because that was, like, her little arc. But But she wasn't this, like, she wasn't the cute girl, you know? She was just a girl whose life was improving. And she was more, like, I guess, like, more content with her life type thing. Oh man, I jumped back with the, oh man, I really think that, like, what happened, the writing for Kale, I think is the perfect microcosm to Genshin's very hit or miss, not hit or miss. It's the perfect example. Fractured. There we go. I used that phrase before. I don't know why I'm not saying it again. Kale's story and how it's written is the perfect example of how fractured Genshin's writing, I mean, it's improving now, but how Genshin's writing used to be. It's so unbelievably fractured. Which, as I mentioned before, the devs realized, acknowledged, and are trying to fix. Okay, I need to talk about the Golden Slumber again, because that's what I wanted to ramble about a little bit. Okay, so Aru and the Golden Slumber do seem to be the same thing. Awesome, cool. Y'all keep commenting. I'm so sorry, let me stop this again. Small Altar says, I always saw her as just hiding it. Kale screaming when the Traveler touched her at the start of Sumeru stuck with me. I mean, I get that, yeah. But I also feel like it wasn't... I don't know. I totally see where that comes from. Personally, I didn't see that. I just kind of saw this as being like, oh, this is her character. This is her character, and she got trauma buried deep down. And not... I mean, that's how I personally thought of things, at least. Even though I like Arlecchino, I will not deny I was a little disappointed when I did her character quest. I thought her character quest was fine. I think it just hit the same problem that a lot of Genshin character quests have, where they're more so about an NPC than, like, the actual character themselves. Like, you know more about Arlecchino's character from her little anime short than you did that entire, like, what was it, like, 4-hour quest. Golden Slumber. Okay, I need to focus. Golden Slumber and Aru are the same thing. Guess Golden Slumber was the like the beta, I guess. And Aru was a more like completed version, or maybe like my original thought still stands that Golden Slumber was the name of the project and Aru was the actual name of the place. I don't know. I don't know. But I forgot what I was gonna say about that. Oh yeah, but like, it's creation, it's purpose, I guess, for creation. I think it's pretty neat. Focus Golden Slumber. Oh, look at that, a bird, literally. The fact that it was inspired by celestial technology, yeah, that checks out completely. Deshret was essentially trying to create a heaven. Like, essentially, that's what he was trying to make. And what better way to create a heaven than to use the same systems that the Heavenly Principles are using. Checks out, makes complete sense. However, this does imply something. This implies something. And it's that celestial technology has forbidden knowledge. Okay, hear me out. So, from what I know, okay, oh man, every time, I really need to freshen up on my Sumeru lore, because I don't want to, like, accidentally say something that ain't true, so just take everything I say with a grain of salt. I might have some things wrong. But from what I know, how the story goes, was that Deshret, you know, he was a smart man with a lot of big ideas, and he had a grand plan to break his people away from fate. I don't know if this was set during the time of the Archon War or not. If it was, then that would make a lot of sense. But whatever the case, that was one of his plans. One thing that is known was that Celestia was going to give him a huge gift, which is heavily implied to be the Dendronosis, and he rejected it. He gave it to his friend instead, which was Rukkhadevata. Because he's like, I don't need Celestia's stuff to achieve my dreams, essentially. And, one day, or one night, or I don't know, they were drinking. Deshret was a little loopy, and he tells Nabu Malikata, hey, I have this dream of, like, breaking my people away from fate, I guess. Like, breaking them away from Celestia's rule, essentially. And Nabu Malikata is like, you do realize that doing that could end your life. And he's like, yeah. Because, he's drunk, okay? And Nabu Malikata is like, I think I know exactly what you can do. What you can, yeah, like, I have something that could help you with that plan. And before this quest, again, from what I remember, okay, just remember that, it is heavily implied that what she gave him to aid him in this quest was forbidden knowledge. Which, as I mentioned so many times, is basically crack for gods. And it's basically what started his grand mental decline, essentially. But before he gained that, the two of them went into a room to perform a ritual. And after the ritual was over, Deshret left, Nabu Malikata did not. And, I mean, obviously she died. And this was basically the start of Deshret's descent. He starts the Golden Slumber project. His mental state just absolutely takes a nosedive, to the point that he can't even rule properly anymore, until eventually, like, forbidden knowledge starts leaking all over his civilization. Moral of the story, don't do drugs, kids, literally. Until eventually, forbidden knowledge infects, like, his civilization, and it all comes crumbling down. He has to get Rukkhadevata to help. I forgot to mention this, but Rukkhadevata just kind of abandoned them after they started this plan, because she was like, yo, I am not getting involved with that. Deshret kind of came crawling back, being like, Rook, please help me. And then Rukkhadevata is like, okay, and she helps him. But it expels, like, a lot of her energy. And Deshret realized that because he is infected with forbidden knowledge, as long as he is alive, it'll just keep spreading. So he kind of himself and yeah. So that's the general gist of his story. But essentially, like, again, from what I remember, it is pretty much implied that Nabu Malikata was the one who gave him forbidden knowledge in the first place. And I've mentioned this before in my streams, but I keep mentioning it because it's something that cannot leave my mind every time these characters are brought up. I need to find this source. I need to find, like, what weapon or artifact or whatever the heck this was from. But there was some, like, artifact or weapon or something that had a little bit of Nabu Malikata lore that mentioned that Deshret, which is pretty obvious even in this quest, had a bit of a big boy crush on her. Absolutely fell in love with her. And Nabu Malikata knew about that. However, she was a woman full of rage. She was kicked out of heaven for some unknown reason, and basically had a life plan to die in a way that would fill the earth with her wrath. And because she knew of Deshret's crush on her, she decided to use those feelings to achieve that goal. So the idea of her gifting him the forbidden knowledge made complete and utter sense in my mind. It's the reason why every so often when they mention Deshret and Nabu Malikata and, like, their love, like, there's, like, a little bit of... That's the reason why I'm like, yeah, I think that love was one-sided. Yet again, Doom Lovers is the peak of romance writing. I agree. I fully agree. Like, it's so fun. Take Sultan to the fields to the absolute. I don't know what that phrase means, actually. So, yeah. So here we have some extra context that Thoth gives us. Some really cool extra context, which is Nabu Malikata basically gave whatever he wanted. Which makes sense. In Deshret's lore, they make it pretty obvious that although he is the god of wisdom, most of what he knows, just a reminder that knowledge and wisdom are different. You know, just because someone's wise doesn't necessarily mean they know a lot, and that seemed to be the case with Deshret. Because they make it pretty clear in his lore that most of what he knows comes from Ruka Nevada, due to her being an angel, and so she's like way older than he is. So what was I talking about? Hold on, my brain just died. My brain just absolutely died. Hold up, I need to get back to where I was. Oh yeah. Basically, Sultan in their field means you make the land so inhospitable that they can't live on the newly conquered spoils. Oh. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But yeah, so like with this new context that Thoth gave us, they say that Nabu Malikata basically, like, gave anything Deshret wanted. Which, like I said, makes complete sense. He had to learn stuff from somewhere. And considering that I mentioned before, it does line up with she knew he had feelings for him and decided to use that. And so it makes sense that she would basically be, let's put it, like, the perfect partner and give him everything. So that, in a way, he'd be stuck to her. Look, I'm just matching what the lore said, okay? Or, like, what I remember the lore saying. Okay. And, like, the little revelation that what exactly she seeked to help him was celestial technology. As I mentioned, on the surface, that makes complete sense. You know, what better way to make a heaven than use the same techniques as the ultimate one above? Makes complete sense. But then I was thinking, hold on a second. Because it also makes sense that, like, her basically revealing Celestia's technological secrets to Deshret is what got her killed. That makes complete sense. Celestia's very hush-hush about what they do and how they function. That makes complete sense as well. But the thing that I thought about was, hold up. If the implication is that she gave him forbidden knowledge, and they revealed that what she gave him was celestial technology, is celestial technology the forbidden knowledge? Or maybe it's not the forbidden knowledge, but it has forbidden knowledge, I think is a better way of putting it. So she turned him into her lapdog. I mean, that was kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, you put it into pretty good words. Yeah, essentially. Like, okay, yeah, no, I wouldn't say celestial technology is forbidden knowledge, but what if, like, it has forbidden knowledge? Because, especially if y'all don't remember super well, forbidden knowledge isn't necessarily knowledge that is banned per se. It is literally like a poison. Like, it comes from the abyss, okay? Okay, like, forbidden knowledge comes from the abyss. It is literally a poison. If you obtain it, you go crazy, everything starts dying all around you. It's the reason why I like to say it's crack for gods. Man realized too late that he had been used. Yeah! So Lilipar is indeed the daughter of her mother, both doing the worst possible decision. Literally. I need to find that. You know what? We're gonna read that this stream. That's what we're going to do. Okay, like, let me just finish up my little ramble here. But yeah, no, I don't think celestial technology is forbidden knowledge, because like I said, forbidden knowledge comes from the abyss, so that's obviously a net negative for Celestia. But considering how many times forbidden knowledge leaks in or messes with Teyvat, and how many times Celestia has had to deal with forbidden knowledge, it makes complete sense to me that celestial technology has forbidden knowledge in it, like it's infected with it. So that would make sense to me. I guess making bad decisions is genetic. So yeah, that does make sense to me. But, like, from the way Thoth speaks about her, It's so different. It's so different from the Nabu Malikata that I can't get out of my mind. Because he speaks very fondly of her. And I wonder if this is Genshin rewriting a couple things. Which they very rarely do if they are doing that. But personally, what I'm thinking so far is that this is just Occam's razor. This is just what Thoth thinks of her. Genshin has done this before. The way Venti speaks about Decarabian and how Decarabian is written, like, objectively through, like, lore pieces here and there are a little bit different. Actually, same with how Venti speaks about Istaroth compared to Istaroth in the objective lore. What you hear from Venti's mouth is very clearly his opinion, his perspective, and it's not that it's fake, it's not that it's false, but there's definitely some bias in there. And so, like, currently that's what I'm thinking is going on with how Thoth speaks about her. Like, this is just how he thinks of Nabu Malikata, not necessarily how she was like. Okay. That was a very big lore discussion. Did it have anything to do with the actual main story? Not at all. But hey, if it got anything to do with the dead gods in this video game, you best believe that that's gonna be the only thing I'm talking about. Okay, like I said in this last part of the stream, I need to, oh my god, I need to figure this out. Okay, just hold on for a second. I'm not a fan of the fandom wiki, like, at all. But I will need it for this instant. Okay. Oh man, I might get spoilers. Darn. Hold on a second. I'm not showing the screen just yet. I'll get there. Death, legacy, story. I guess it would be in her story. Not sure. Hold on. I'm just, like, looking over this. Okay, should be in either one of these. Just in a second, guys. No, okay, I don't think it's in this one. It's in something else. Was it this? It might have been this. If celestial technology is affected with forbidden knowledge, does that mean there is a way to contain it and not be affected by it? I'm not sure. Currently, as of now, I don't think they're... Okay. Because, like, they can maintain the abyss. But I think the lore makes it pretty clear that they stall it at best. Otherwise, wouldn't Celestia come crashing down because of the overflow of forbidden knowledge? Well, at the end of the day, forbidden knowledge is just the abyss. Or at least, like, it is just the abyss. And Celestia pretty commonly, like, somewhat, sorta, kinda, on the daily has to deal with the abyss. Don't get me wrong. It takes a lot out of them. And like I said, like, I think it's pretty clear that they can stall it at most. Was it this one? Yeah, I'm trying to find this. What? Where is it? Oh my god. Please don't tell me I was crazy. Please don't tell me I was crazy. Oh my god. I need to find this. I need to find this. Was it this one? It was Flowers of Paradise Lost, I think. Oh man, I hope I wasn't crazy. I hope I was not crazy. Please don't tell me I was crazy. Okay, hold up. I know y'all can't see anything. I just, that's not how it works. No, okay, okay. It's in here somewhere. I'm sorry if I just went absolutely dead silent. Y'all can keep talking in the comments. I like to imagine that it's the same principle, the principle of Oz's creation, that technology had forbidden knowledge, but it is not active until something manifests or on how you use it. That's not a bad theory, actually. That is not a bad theory at all. It's kind of like, maybe it's like hidden. Well, not hidden, but it's like dormant in the tech until someone comes into, like, starts using it. Yeah. Is this it? Is this the one that I was thinking of? Please. I really don't want everything I said to have just been like a fever dream. Can I put my theory into the ring? I know, I don't have that much knowledge on this game, but it's okay if I put a theory in here. Go ahead! Go ahead. It's always really fun, 'cause sometimes, not having to overthink every single detail sometimes comes out with, like, ideas that I could have, like, never thought of. Like, y'all go ahead as I'm trying to find where this is, because I'm getting so scared that I made this up. It was all a dream. No, please. Don't. Oh man, that would suck. Okay, I don't think it's what I'm looking at. I don't think it's what I'm looking at. Still trying to find it. Sorry if I'm going like dead silent. I'm just low-key freaking out right now. I'm kind of freaking out right now. Oh yeah, let me read this. Okay, my theory is that forbidden knowledge is actually a viral program that was either deliberately or accidentally installed into this world, because forbidden knowledge, at least to me, behaves much like a computer virus, but far more malicious and destructive. Teku says it is plausible. After all, Elazar, the disease that Sumeru people had, was indeed more like a viral program in the Irminsul. I agree with you, actually, that forbidden knowledge specifically is like a virus. Definitely. That, I do think. And, oh, my chair is acting up weird. Now, of course, we know that that forbidden knowledge comes from the Abyss. However, the Abyss is known to replicate things. I mean, that's basically all it does in Nalan. It just mimics other things. So, forbidden knowledge mimicking technology would actually be kind of dope. Like, that'd actually be a cool, like, explanation that it's mimicking the technology around itself. Oh my god, where is this thing? Is it in this weapon? Please, please, please. Okay, close. I had something really, really close. Oh my god, okay. I may have found it. I probably found it. Oh man. The monsters in Natlan had mimicked people, Conrian technology, and monsters of different species. Also, Natlan technology. If the Abyss can replicate things, then that's where the forbidden knowledge comes from. If I'm continuing with this technology explanation, the Abyss could be the software of the world. Yeah. I mean, the Abyss is like a poison type thing. Like, it's like a bad thing. It destroys things. I like the idea though that it would be like it's a mimic of the world's functions, or it's a mimic of certain things, but because it's only a mimic, it is inherently corrupt. And it's like a virus. I like that idea. Okay, I think I might have found something. Yo, I'd be kind of scared that I was making this stuff up. I'm low-key scared. Because this was an idea that I have been having for literal years. Forbidden knowledge is a WinRAR that the moment is unfold chaos regains. I'm so scared that I was making this up. I'm sorry. I know that y'all can't see anything. You guys are just hearing my reactions. I'm just like, oh my god, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Because I think I found what I was talking about. But I'm just looking through the other, I'm just skimming through the other stuff to make sure it was that specifically, or if I really am just crazy. Do a backflip, if only I could. What does that mean? Celestia is nothing but a glorified antivirus? A very weak one at that? Well, I mean, the Abyss is killing the rest of the universe. And Celestia is only really running a planet. So, yeah. Pepper looking at the speed of light to find that one specific information I had in mind. I'm freaking out right now. Oh my god. Cause like, oh man. No, cause like, y'all need to understand, this was something that was in my mind, like, for years. Like, my entire conceptualization of this woman's entire character came from this one specific fact, and I'm kind of scared that I was making it up. Well, Celestia had hold very well for 500 years for now. Mostly, kinda, not really. Cause, like, the Abyss was always messing with Natlan. And of course, forbidden knowledge was kind of always a thing in Sumeru. At least the infection of it was always a thing in Sumeru. And actually, Loki, I think it was just those two. I think it was just those two. But like, well, my point basically was that like, the Abyss was always lingering even before that. Are you explaining about Genshin facts? This is a Genshin stream, more specifically a lore stream, I guess. Okay, Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna look through, like, a few more sources. Just a few more sources. So the fact that you're looking for is more a fan fiction than foundation of a new era. I really hope it's not. Like, I swear in my... Okay, then Genshin will go for another 20 years. Oh, well, that's their goals, at least. That's their goal. Oh my god, I can't find it. Ah! I feel crazy. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. Because I don't feel like keeping y'all in the dark for this long. Hold on a second, I'm just... Was this it? Is this the same one? Yeah, it is. Okay. This is what we're going to do, guys. I know it's very late. This is a very, very late stream, but, like, I'm sorry. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep feeding you guys lore information if it's wrong. So, this is what we're doing. I think I found the specific source that the idea probably comes from, and we're going to be reading the Paradise Lost artifact set, which is all about Nabu Malikata. That's what we're doing. I just heard that the devs are going to stretch the story, like, really long. Personally, I don't think they're going to stretch the story, more so they're going to make a second part of it. Like, let's say, like, Genshin Impact 2. Because everything about the writing right now makes it very clear we are reaching a sense of closure, at least to what Genshin's original path was. I mean, are they going to bullshit more story, like a part 2? 100%, definitely. That's definitely what they seemingly want to do. But personally, I do think that they're going to finish their original story first. Okay. This is what we're doing. Okay, we can finally get to the Infinite Void again, guys. Whoa, look at that. Okay, just ignore all of the ads absolutely everywhere. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it comes from this. What nonsense, Genshin 2. Look, I don't know, the game was successful, okay? This right here, Oasis Gardens Truth. I'm pretty sure this is where the idea came from. Okay. And this is what the description says. It's just a weak bullshit name. I mean, okay. Okay. Who would worship a departed god? The Lord of Flowers was once in alliance with 2 other gods. Apart from wisdom and power, she also brought mercy and joy to her people. Just as the earth needs more than a burning sunshine and pouring rain, to the people of the Lord of Flowers, joy and love, singing and music, and wine and extravagance were just as vital as strength and sensibility. It is said that flowers blossom so that they may enjoy a spectacular death, and that death was precisely the wholehearted pursuit of the Lord of Flowers. For death adds bitterness to lost joy, and intensifies with time across endless memories. The ignorant Lord of Deserts was never aware of her reasoning. He only reveled in her immense charm and grace. And as misguided as such fervent affections might be, they were well within the calculations of the Lord of Flowers. Placeholder for now. We don't know if they're actually doing a second game. I mean, I never said they were doing that. Okay. So I think this is where it might have come from. My idea. Oh, is this different? Oh, this is different. Oh. The Lord of Flowers was in an amicable relationship with the Jinn. The Mistress of Flowers and Oasis joined hands with the Lord of Deserts and built Ai-Khanum, the city of amphitheaters, which carried the meaning of the city of the Moon Maiden. That's not what amphitheaters mean, but okay. In the ancient language of the Jinn. Later, however, it was said that the Lord of Flowers died due to the malice of the burning sun in yellow sands, after which the blossoms of purple padisaras were never seen again in the oasis. After the departure of the Lord of Flowers and the sandstorms keened, the Jinn sobbed, and the moonlight's silver gem disk lost its original glad purpose, giving off a mournful glimmer. What about this one? I forgot, like, Ascension materials have different things. Okay. In the literature buried beneath the yellow sands, the Lord of Flowers was the mistress of dreams. She bestowed dreams upon the exiled, the manic, and the foolish. In those dreams, they were presented with their dearest delights. Burdened by the brutality of reality, they were fascinated by the charm of the Lord of Flowers and captivated by her beauty and care. Okay, so this is not... Okay, so definitely this right here. This right here. The ignorant Lord of Deserts was never aware of her reasoning. He only reveled in her immense charm and grace, and as misguided as such fervent affections might be, they were well within the calculations of the Lord of Flowers. Okay, so I had something right. Oh man, I'm starting to feel crazy right now. Okay, so this is clearly where, like, the base idea of her using him came from, definitely, 100%. You know, the fact that this is clearly somewhat, sort of, in a way, in her perspective, first of all, calling the Lords of Deserts ignorant, only reveling in her beauty, and it fitting well within her calculations to have a, quote, spectacular death. This right here, this right here is definitely where the idea of what I was thinking of came from. She played him like a dang piano, literally. And then with what's the other one? The silver one right here. Yeah, this part here. It is said that the Lord of Flowers died due to the malice of the burning sun and the yellow sand. Okay, so malice, obviously, like, I definitely had the whole manipulating. I mean, this is basically manipulation. I don't know if manipulation is the right word. Using probably fits better. Like, I definitely had her using his crush on her to get to the point of a, quote, spectacular death. Definitely a thing. That shit's basically canon. It says it, like, right here. Also, calling him ignorant. I don't know if she respected the man very much. So she was killed by Sumeru Archon. Huh? Remember, use a flamethrower on the flowers, bruh. Okay. So it's what I got from that. And then from what I could tell, okay, so this is the Paradise Lost artifact set. So, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, don't worry guys. I'm just gonna read the part that might have what I'm looking for, because I feel half crazy. Okay, I know that some of it was there. Okay. Okay. So I think this has a little bit of what I was talking about. In the bygone time of which only the Jinn weep, the mistress of the oasis made a final choice. At that moment, she learned that her fate was no riddle, but the key to opening a mysterious doorway. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Through King Deshret's words and aspirations, she saw the possibility to transcend the absurd shackles that governed this world. Rejecting the gift granted by the divine throne, the Red Crown King saw a new path of his own volition. That was the Gnosis, right? Yeah, it was the Gnosis. He rejected it. Even though the future she revealed was ruinous and bleak, the king refused to Though the future she revealed was ruinous and bleak, the king refused to yield an inch. Even knowing that the journey was to be fraught with peril, even knowing those dearest to him were certain to fade before his very eyes, the Red Lord chose a noble lie, shepherding his followers on a path towards oblivion. Who cares about ecosystem preservation? Just burn everything? Bruh. You seek but to chain the winds. Upon the tombstone of divinity shall humanity become... Is that him talking? I think that's him talking. I can't tell. You seek but to chain the winds. Upon the tombstone of divinity shall humanity become the god of gods. Okay, that's probably him. Such a carefree dream was certain to be unmade. In ruins where lies are sundered, humanity will become the king of kings. Okay, so that's definitely Deshret talking. The Lord of Flowers captivated to her friend's folly, finding a most admirable rebellion burning within the ambitions of the gods. An idea that joined the wisdom of thousands, and the great attempt at binding their dreams to power. What hides here is more than lies, but the future of humanity, burning like the spark of hopes. Dreams will always dissolve, their landscapes faded to collapse. This is the true meaning of the blooming flowers. Only by suffering through the destruction of a god's delusions, only by suffering through the god's delusions can humanity learn to rise against divine will. Just as the stubborn god king orchestrated the secret rebellion, surviving on the strength of individual will alone. However, the Lord of Flowers never knew a love... Duh, my brain just died. However, the Lord of Flowers never knew a love that could be as sweet as wine, let alone the paltriness of human emotion. Brilliant as she was, she could not easily predict these little beings would finally realize the truth. Have those so-called gods not been superfluous? That word, to use since the beginning? Okay. Okay, this is when he built the Eternal Oasis. So it's probably not what I'm looking for. Nope. What about here? No, this isn't it. Okay. Still, this is more so about the Jinn, if anything. This looks interesting. I guess I'll read it. Let's see. The Lord of Flowers once met the King of the Red Sands. In an age where kings vied against one another for power, King Deshret allowed his throne to be shared with two others. The Jinn bequeathed the throne, inlaid with emeralds and rubies, to celebrate the union between the three friends. In honor of the Eternal Oasis and the flourishing Parisaras. Oh wait, is this the... Okay, the Lord of Flowers wore an amethyst crown. Okay. But eternity is ultimately a lie. Intoxication and love could only grind memories down into broken dreams. You once asked me why I always sigh. Tonight, while the moon is bright, let me speak to you of the things long past. It was a faraway time of calm and peace. Divine envoys spoke openly with the people then, bringing them the word from the heavens. But in time, invaders descended from beyond the firmament, bringing with them destruction, overturning rivers, spreading plagues. And though the invaders brought war to my former king, they also brought about illusions that could break through the shackles of the land. But the Master of the Heavens, consumed by fear and the rising tide of delusion and breakthroughs, sent down divine nails to mend the land, laying waste to the mortal realm. We then suffered the torment of exile. Stripped was our connection to heaven, to our powers of enlightenment. Since the disaster, I have long been cursed to never again look upon the heavens. It is my fortune that I have been able to maintain myself till now, but my home calls me nigh constantly, even as the disaster between the stars and the abyss grows ever emergent on the surface of the crystals. Heed my warnings. Do not heed my warnings. Seek not the master of the four shades, and inquire not of the mysteries of the sky of the abyss. Otherwise, as shown by the nail of retribution, certain calamity and sorrow will follow. However, King Deshret disagreed with the warnings of his partner, silently swearing his intent to transgress. Wiping clean the tears of his companion beneath the moon's gaze, he spoke then of his own desires to the goddess of flowers. Okay. Okay. So maybe I did miss something a little bit in the beginning. Legend has it that the Lord of Flowers wandered the barren waste for 72 nights. Her heels were worn through by the merciless gravel. Her wounds gushed into limpid springs, turning into streams with no boundaries. Thence those streams flowed into verdant gardens which sprouted night blue water lilies. The water lilies are the mothers of the Jinn, and the Jinn were birthed from intoxicating dreams and the bitter memories of lost. The first Jinn were creatures of wisdom. They indulged in innocent dreams and love just as sweet. To thank their creator, the infantile Jinn took their mistress by the arm and granted her a laurel wreath with wild... that's a flower. O Lord of Flowers, master of the garden, we beg of thee, stay and not leave us. Yes, please, dream mother, mistress of forgetting and wine, we beg of you, remain queen of this garden. This is kind of cute. And so, detained by the gentleness of the Jinn, the exiled goddess remained in the garden of flowers. Gorgeous purple flowers bearing resemblance to the moon bloomed wherever she stopped by. They were named the Pardisara. Okay, so that was okay, this was something that I never properly mentioned, I don't think, in any of my streams, but it was a thought in my mind that Nabu Malikata didn't, like, she was just kind of like, okay, with the Jinn. Meanwhile, the Jinn are like, oh my gosh, mom. Okay, this is where it comes from, definitely. Let's see. Okay, made a final choice. There's no one of the... Did I read this already? I think I already read this. I think I already did. Dreams always is on, just as a secret Velian. Yeah, I already read this. And this is about the Eternal Oasis. This is when she dies. Okay. Okay. I think I might... Okay. Is this another thing? Was this another thing? Okay, let me read this as well. Poured his... Okay. In a bygone time, of which the Jinn alone are silent, King Deshret poured his deepest ambitions out before the Lord of Flowers. As the moonlight's visage drifted across ripples within a glass of pomegranate wine, the Lord of Flowers finally succumbed to the persuasion of a friend most beloved. The words King Deshret spoke that night remain unknown to all. Even the eldest Jinn bestow only silence when asked about what was said. None know what secret desires King Deshret revealed in the dark past daylight, desires that might shock even the wisest of gods. But the Lord of Flowers herself drew enlightenment from the exchange. It had been within her calculus, something long foreseen. Okay? The desert and oasis were sovereigns most high, yet held wild thoughts of rebellion the most strongly. I shall keep your secrets on account of the feelings my heart holds for you and the Lord of Wisdom. I shall fashion you a bridge to allow you to slake your deepest wants. You must fear not of the crystalline sapphire nail. I will deliver you to higher knowledge, but as I have warned, you are fated to lose much in this exchange. Oh, so she warned him. Okay. Nevertheless, hide my lesson in your heart. Remember the punishment that was once inflicted on the fallen envoys of heaven. Know this, there is to be hope in this world. It will be found kindling within mortals most ordinary. Wreathed in darkness, she guided her dearest friend towards a path to understanding all there was to know about the skies and the abyss. Using her body as a conduit and offering the oasis in trade, she let the dazzling radiance consume her to see her deepest desires be made manifest. Sandstorm swept in revelrous havoc among the paradise that was now missing one of its gods, folding the skies with yellow sand, swallowing all in calamity. King Deshret returned from the swirling sands that devoured the skies. The Lord of Flowers, however, was never again seen. I just dreamed of you, feeling your way through the walls through the walls of a crystalline maze. All that can be seen is but sand. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna go back to, back to my little talking section. Man, I talked so much that the music shut off. Okay. So what did I gather from this very quick reading? I wasn't like skimming over, not skimming, I wasn't like analyzing every detail. Okay. I still can't find. Okay, so what I was right about. What I was right about. She did not have a very high opinion of Deshret. Like, I'm sorry, okay? Like, the narrative was basically saying, oh yeah, the foolish Lord of Deserts who was just, like, who was just absolutely enamored by every little thing she did. Like, okay, that was there. The whole her having a big crush, not her, him having a big crush on her, and then just, like, dumping everything on her. And her being like, and her like guessing all of that. Okay, I got that. Say so as far as I can tell, your original statement still holds merit. Okay, yeah, I'm just like, oh my god. Okay, so I got the fact that she doesn't hold him on high opinion correct. I got the fact that, like, she knew about his feelings and it was, quote, well within her calculations, like. So basically, yeah, no, playing him like a goddamn fiddle. Okay, I definitely got that right. I got the whole, yeah, I got the Abyss part right, yeah. Like, she did give him forbidden knowledge. And the fact that she used his feelings for her spectacular death. Okay, so I think this is what happened. I don't think my conclusion came from a very specific point. From a very specific part of the lore. I think it was a mixture of all of this and me, like, constructing what happened. Cause the only thing that's missing is the part that, like, I need to find, because now I feel crazy, is the fact that the main reason she did all this was basically to poison the earth with her wrath, quote unquote. I still haven't found that, and I really hope that it's real. I don't want to feel crazy. That's the only part that's missing. Everything else I said seems to line up pretty well. I think it was more so, yeah, like I said, I think it was more so me reading all of this and then kind of sort of constructing what happened based on the information that was there. With, like, yeah, like, she, from the very beginning, had an idea to die, like, and not only that, but a spectacular death. Like, from the very beginning, she wanted to die with a bang. She meets this guy is just head over heels for her, and she goes, this is the perfect candidate to have my incredible death. Nabu did that so Celestia could see her, just like Nicole. Yeah, no, that's definitely a thing. But I mean, no, I mean the lore pretty much states it. All of this was her plan. This whole using him to basically infect him with forbidden knowledge, which would in turn infect all of Sumeru. Yeah, no, like, it is it is there. Like, that was her plan. Her plan was literally to kill Sumeru just as an FU to Celestia. Which, like, girl, I get it, but I don't know if that was the best way to go about it. Lilupar really is her kid. So all of that definitely checks out. The only part, like I said, the only part that I'm kind of sort of missing is specifically planned from the beginning, BS. Oh boy. The only thing that's missing from what I remember is it saying that her goal was to fill the earth with her wrath. Or maybe I made that up. I don't know. But it is lining up. If infecting him with the Abyss is her plan, and it was her goal to die like a spectacular death, then I probably just interpreted that as, oh, she wanted to die in a way that would poison Sumeru, and so she used this very well-meaning but kind of dumb as rocks guy to get to that point. So, okay, I'm not crazy, not fully. My opinion of her still stands. Thankfully. I was getting kind of worried that I would look up her lore and the lore would be like, oh, she is actually a very nice person at the end of the day, and no, she didn't manipulate Deshret, this was all happenstance. And I was going to be like, oh, I am disappointed and my day is ruined. But no, I'm safe. I'm safe from scrutiny. This is canon, or at least most of what I said is canon. I need to actually read a bit more of Sumeru lore. Because I still have that teeny tiny inkling in my mind that's like, what if I was wrong? Let's see. So the plan was, after getting booted from Celestia, use your lapdog to kill his entire nation, to kill the entire planet, because you hate Celestia that is not even tethered to the planet. Yes. Nicole gaslighting Kali to think that Nabu was good. No, see, that's why I said, that Thoth, speaking about her, about Thoth being like, oh, Nabu Malikata was this, like, great person who loved her people, and people built, like, monuments and stuff to worship her. Like, that's the reason I said, I don't think Thoth is lying, because at the end of the day, Nabu Malikata is an angel, and so she is, like, literally made to care and protect people. So I don't doubt that she didn't care about Sumeru, at least a little bit, considering, again, she was one of the 3 god kings, you know, she ruled with Deshret and Rukkhadevata for at least a good while. So I mean, the text does say, you know, there was, like she offered, like, oases and flowers and prosperity and music and all of that good stuff. So I don't necessarily think she hated her people per se. Like, I do think there was some care, but I think her goals, let's put it, made her put those cares aside. At least that's how I'm interpreting her character. The plan was wasting a habitable area for functionally no reason. Spite is quite a motivator. Yeah, no, that's kind of how it comes off as. And so that's why I say that, like, Thoth's entire description of her, I don't think he's wrong. I do think that there is some truth in there. Kind of like I mentioned Venti talking about Decorabian. Venti isn't wrong in what he says. However, it is their opinion from what they know. It makes, like, I don't expect Thoth to know Nabu Malikata's true intentions. I mean, freaking Deshret didn't know either. At the same time, you could say that he was blinded by love, you know. But, like, the Jinn didn't seem to know about it either. It didn't seem to know about her intentions. And if the Jinn didn't know, then why would he? So, yeah. Nicole, on the other hand, like, I don't know. I don't know about Nicole specifically. Well, the manga puts those 2 god remains as snakes and dangerous, so Wrath is quite suited by her. Hey, at least there's that. I'm feeling a bit more validated now. I'm feeling a bit safer now. Man, because, like, I really don't want to be, like, that person who's, like, the Genshin lore person, right? Okay, not the person, but, like, y'all come for me for the lore. Y'all, you know, I'm kind of the encyclopedia a little bit on the Genshin lore. And I don't want to be that person who gives you an entire perception of Nabu Malikata, and then just for the game to be like, no, you're wrong, actually, and you are dumb, and you don't know how to read. Okay, but we're fine. I need to freshen up on Sumeru lore, like, actually, so I can genuinely talk about these things. But I am kind of happy to know that, for the most part, I was right. Actually, I don't even know if for the most part. I was, like, 90% right. That does make me glad. So, like, the one thing I'm wondering is, when is the actual story going to bring this up? Because here we are talking about Nabu Malikata in the Archon Quest, and they're still talking about her with a beachy clean reputation. I'm waiting for the moment where they reveal that, like, yeah, no, she was willing to just, like, destroy all of Sumeru. Just to be like, F you to Celestia. Oh yeah, and she also died, which was her plan, too. Like, she planned this. Like, when are we going to talk about how... when are we gonna talk about how she offed herself, gave a man drugs, and nearly destroyed an entire civilization out of spite? Oh, man. So, final words. She's a hypocrite. She does good and bad on equal parts. Well, time does change someone. Like, I don't think she's evil, right? It's the same thing as, like, what I say to Celestia. But she's definitely not that good of a person. Okay. This is just a telenovela. Literally, I'm just happy that I was right. Because when I looked up her information on the fandom wiki, what y'all didn't see, like, I couldn't see, like, exactly what I was talking about, so I was like, oh god, oh no, did I make that up? Was it a dream? Was it my fanfiction? Oh no. But no, we're safe, guys. We're safe. We're safe. It's the Rosa de Guadalupe all over again. Literally. Okay. This talking section has lasted longer than the actual gameplay itself. We need to end the stream. Thank you guys oh so much for being with me all the way to the end and seeing me crash out and then get better and just, like, I'm feeling... Everything's a bit crazy right now. Cause... Oh boy, like the reason, I guess, that I'm so invested in this is cause, like, there are very, very few Genshin players who are obsessed with not just the lore, but, like, the lore characters, as I am. I don't think there's many people who care that much about Deshret, Nabu Malikata, Remus, like those types of characters. Like, I don't think there's that many players who really care about that, and so because I do, I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm borderline educating the fandom on these guys, and so to get, like, information wrong, I'm like, no! Yeah, what a good hour this was, theories and facts, and here are my friends. Okay, but yeah, this has been a very wild, very wacky stream. Thank y'all so much for getting all the way to the end. It has been a delight. I'm happy to like, jump back into this quest and ramble a lot about lore again. I've done this before, but I have tried to explain the lore with a couple of series. I'm watching one, my friends, and oh boy, it took me forever to find one piece of information to explain things. Well, we relate to that. Yeah. So, we need a server to ramble about lore. Oh my god. But yeah, no, this has been really fun. As for the next stream, I'm gonna be completely honest, guys, I was low-key thinking of streaming tomorrow. The reason why was because I was originally going to stream yesterday, but I did not do that. Mayhaps a community section, man. I didn't do that, which is why I streamed tonight. But, like, the plan was to stick to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I do kind of want to stick to that because, as I mentioned a million times, I kind of want to finish this quest. I'm loving this quest. If y'all couldn't tell with this way too long stream, I do want to finish, but I still want to finish it because I haven't seen the special program or the trailer for, like, the new update, but there's some crazy stuff going on. I need to finish this. So, yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say. I said more than I should have. I said way more than I should have. Not even, like, I said a little bit too much. Nah. I literally put the stream on goddamn hold just to find some shreds of information. Okay, we're done. I need to end this. I need to sleep. Yeah. So, yeah. To finalize everything, thanks to Forbidden Knowledge, we had Elazar, which was not good. Exactly. So yeah, to basically end this has been an amazing stream. Y'all have been amazing. Thank y'all so much for sticking at the end, especially this ending part. It's been really fun, and I cannot wait if I can do it tomorrow, obviously. Never know what might happen, but the plan is for tomorrow. So, yeah, no, that's it. Bye!